Gather round, we got no gods to please. Saturday night, no sermons, just ease. Discussions flow like midnight breeze. No prophets here, just minds to tease. We talk big bangs and evolution. Question faith with our solution. Stars align in our confusion. Breaking free from old illusion. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers. Open hearts and swift deceivers. Make a stand, no hidden levers. Raise your glass to reason, thrill, no ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn, feel velvet chill. Saturday night, we've got the skill. Echoes of a godless choir, like the world we spark the fire. Freeze our mindset to inspire. No holy walls to take us higher. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Captive Desk. Another Saturday night at the Atheists. And we've got Mike and Scott joining us.
Hey, hey.
We've got a
Good
bunch of
evening,
folks in the
everyone.
chat. Hello, everybody. We got Brainless here. Hello, Brainless.
Hello.
Good to see
Popped off
everybody.
out of a different StreamYard studio, so.
I feel brainless.
We got Rochelle there. Hello, Rochelle. Zephyr.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody.
Oh.
And we have Mike here recuperating from the C word.
From the Rona.
Yeah. Hello, Blaster. How you doing, Ryan?
Is it true that you can't even say that anymore? Because like there are some channels where
Yeah.
they use the R word and a bunch of other stuff, and they don't care, and they never get taken down. But
It's
I don't know. I mean, is that
it's
a
best-
rumor?
it's best not to
know,
touch it.
but
It's
Yeah, it's also it's not as trigger happy. The algorithm isn't as trigger happy anymore, I believe, but
Hopefully.
I guess
we've
it could
got
be a
Joe too. Hello, Joe.
I think
What's
it
up?
could be a function of who's going to complain.
Joe's
I'm
had
here to complain.
Joe's had a bug too. So you and Mike are kindred spirits here.
Better look behind you. There's another bug coming after you.
Yeah.
That looks like a nasty bug.
I got all kinds of balls behind me. My balls background.
Good to see you, Joe, up and around. How's the missus?
Yeah. Yeah. She's letting me live still, so
Good.
Oh.
And we've been continuing Saturday night at the Atheists. Mike used to host it, and I said, let's get it growing again. So I've been hosting it over here, and Mike's been here, and Scott's been here most of the we've been kind of looking for the smaller channels, because we're smaller channels, right? So, and I figured, yeah, you know, the bigger channels take on, and everybody goes back and forth, and a lot of times the smaller channels are kind of left out, right? So we're trying to stick with smaller channels where we can take a look and maybe they'll review back. You know, it helps everybody out. You know what I mean? And as always, anybody we're reviewing, if you see this video, you're welcome to come on and have a conversation with us. We'd love to have you on. We enjoy civil discourse here, and if you want to make some comments about something we said about your video or whatever, you're welcome to come on. We'll talk about it.
I enjoy being right.
Some of these videos are asking for comments and commentary and response, and this one is no exception. It's called a challenge to atheists. So
Yeah.
we've got a challenge presented.
Let's accept
to
that
us.
challenge, I would say.
That's right.
Civil
somebody's got an echo somewhere.
Was it me? It might be me. Let me go put my headphones on. I'm probably gonna be.
Yeah, Mike's still recuperating, so if he ducks out or something, we know he's just taking a break. So,
Am I still
Yeah, I
on?
probably won't hang around long. I don't think my voice will hang out for it.
it was kicking his butt. So yeah, we understand you don't feel well. You know, no worries.
YouTube waits for no man.
That's right. I'm feeling good, so all hail Bigfoot. The dang germs stay away. I had a celebration stream the other day. You can check it out if you want to know what was going on. But basically, I had a bunch of issues, and it's all settled and behind me, and I was feeling good. I had a good night's sleep, and it had been a long time since I had a good night's sleep. A lot of things were weighing on my mind, and to have it all cleared up is such a load off my mind. It just feels so wonderful. So
Yeah. A good night's sleep after you've had a while without good sleep. That's
you notice the difference.
and it's something I do to myself, not sleeping well, but
A lot of people have issues sleeping. So I wish everybody sweet dreams, at least.
I've been sleeping
for tonight.
for me, it's mainly my own.
Mike's been sleeping all week, right?
all week since last Sunday. It's like this week seems like one day to me. It's just like, holy shit.
Well,
I haven't been able to sleep because of the being sick.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm suffocating when I try to
Coughing.
sleep. Being 300 pounds probably doesn't help either.
Keep pumping those fluids.
Yeah.
Keep everything loose.
I'm all
It's
hopped
even-
up
it's
on
even
that.
worse.
Loosey goosey.
Yeah, it's even worse if you get all blocked up, So,
No doubt.
but so yeah, welcome everybody. And we've got something lined up here. A couple of the panel have already had a sneak peek at it, and they're ready to go. So we're gonna strike right now because Mike might get worn out really quick on this. So,
I watched 2 minutes and I had to take blood pressure medication.
Ooh. Did that
all
good?
right. So yeah, we've got a challenge to atheists here. So we're gonna take on his challenge, and as always, it's nothing personal. We're taking on the arguments here, and you present it out here for us to take a look at. We're taking a look at it. So. We got somebody backstage. ODS.
Odious?
Odious.
Do we know ODS?
I don't. I don't recall.
Not something that familiar to me.
ODS, name yourself in the chat there.
Right.
Thanks.
Our Dying Sun. ODS, I imagine.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. I thought it was a play on the word odious and like, oh
What?
gosh, what are we going to expect from this person? But
You asked and they said yes, we do. So I figured that's.
gotcha.
Hello, ODS.
Hello, Mr. Sun, sir.
How we doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I apologize for the,
No, no worries. We're taking a look at a challenge to atheists here, right?
yeah, I'm an atheist.
Okay.
Challenge me, baby.
Okay.
Where's your card?
Yeah, you got to show your card.
Yeah, I didn't see you at the last meeting.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, you should come and show up on Atheist Church, right?
An atheist
Nice
church.
to meet you.
Okay, so we're going to get rolling on this. And,
Go on.
here we go.
Hi, my name is Steve Copeland.
If that wasn't clear, his name is Steve Copeland. All right, so hello, Steve.
Any
Is he-
relation to?
Is he related?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
He actually
In this
he doesn't
video.
have an E after COP, and
Yeah,
his last name reminds me of the movie Copland with
Yeah,
Stallone and Robert Patrick and them.
it could be Copland if it is, or if some, I'm pretty sure he said Copeland, but he does maybe have an Aussie accent or something.
He doesn't have his hair, that's for sure.
No hair.
I want to say welcome real quick to Jordan Magia or Magia. I'm sorry about that last name if I'm mispronouncing it. We'd love to hear what you have to say, but let's not just spit out copy and paste scriptures at us, please.
Yeah.
We know
Otherwise,
him.
otherwise we can copy and paste them some as well.
Yep.
Yeah, but what I mean is just don't spit that out. Say something about it. Something reasonable, something that's part of a point of view or an argument. Don't just do the magic.
We already know
What's
what the
something
Bible
that's
says.
done where you throw out the word of God and it shall not come back to us void. And a lot of people take that to mean you can quote scripture without engaging.
I mean, he specified KJV. I mean, what else do you want?
That's the real
That's the
version.
one true Bible.
Well,
Wasn't that one of the latest revisions?
the latest and the latest. That's not a word, isn't it? The latest and the. No, I'm sorry. Go on.
Latest is right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go. Steve's got the challenge for us, so here we go.
I wish to present a specific cosmological challenge to atheists to see if they have the honesty and courage to make a stand about what they believe regarding the cosmological evidence of the last 100 years and how that data relates to the existence of God.
All right, are you ready?
Okay.
Bring it in.
All right. Rabid Atheist, hello. Good to see you.
Hello.
You're welcome to join too. The link is pinned.
Yeah, Ed.
On
what
May
the hell? Get
17,
on it.
2024, I published a video entitled 7 Arguments for the Existence of God.
And I do have this video too. If we get time, we can look at it afterwards. So but I thought this one was better to look at first. But yeah, if it happens, it happens.
Were them really 7 though?
These are his 7. It's just his list. So
Right.
it's
I
the
doubt it
title
was
is
7 though.
yeah, the title is just the existence of God, but then he slips the 7 arguments on there. I don't know if he didn't put it in the first place or something, but yeah, those are his 7 arguments.
Now, in the intro, I stated that the scientific methods may be adequate to provide powerful arguments for God's existence, but
What scientific method provides powerful evidence for the existence of God? I'm not
Prayer.
Hint. It starts with
prayer.
n
My
and
bad.
ends with on.
Prayer, or if you are, drugged enough.
Yeah, when you hallucinate. Yeah.
Speaking of drugged enough, we got a couple of sickos here on all their Benadryls and everything.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think? Scientific method for God?
I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but we'll see.
I don't either. Okay.
ultimately be unable to provide absolute proof, for the simple reason that the Christian definition of God is a being who is outside of time or the natural order. Now,
Yeah, that's very
So
convenient.
he's already saying, like, whatever I'm going to say is not going to be you're not going to be able to apply it to God. So why the
Yeah, so
bleep
much for
is your
the
mouth moving?
so much for the scientific method, right? I mean,
Right.
he just contradicted himself, didn't he?
So
Question.
everything. Go ahead.
The scientific
Mike.
method, it's okay if the evidence seems to be in his favor, but if it's not, well, then you can't touch God.
Mike,
Well, it's
Michael, I've seen your cat. There is a God.
Oh, you got a
So-
fan, Mike.
So everything in the universe exists in a place and at a time, right? Whenever you say that it's outside of that, you're essentially saying that it doesn't exist.
It's made up.
How
I'm sorry,
something
Joey, but
exists-
those are coordinates on the map. Do you have the map?
sure.
Do you?
Nope.
Well, I mean, he's off the map is the problem, is what I'm saying. Even if there is such a map, he's left the map at this point.
Oh, so you are in the possession of the map?
I don't need the map because he's not even referring to the map. He's saying we're not on the map.
Yeah, he's claiming if you have a map, then God is outside the map. Whatever map you think you have, you can't touch God because God ain't there. So
Because it doesn't exist in any place. It's outside of space. Space-time is one thing. If it's outside of space-time, then it's not there. It doesn't exist. That's almost the definition of doesn't exist, right? Like
Frank Turek is popular for this one.
Yeah.
Our God exists outside of space, outside of time. He's putting it, outside of any argument you can present against it. It's what they're doing.
it's
there were about
nonsensical.
Yeah.
400 comments to the video, but sadly only about 5 people actually bothered to engage my arguments in a mature way.
400 comments and he only got 5 nice ones.
Scumbags.
That's rough.
That's a good ratio, though.
I think he's exaggerating. I don't think 395 of them could have been that bad.
And we don't know if in his mind that
Well,
an
it
actual
depends
good
on-
argument against what he's saying is considered a bad attitude and immaturity. If you say, hey, you haven't thought of this, and maybe you will say, dumbass or something in it, but still, if you provide a good counter argument to him, he may consider that to be immature. So you just have to know what's in people's heads or know the person to know what they consider maturity.
Yeah, people like this usually find only people that agree with them to be polite and mature.
sorry, I
polite
called
and
him pretty
mature.
much.
That doesn't
No, he
knit
asks a lot.
itself. Polite
He's gonna-
and mature, no.
Yeah, he's going to ask a lot back, but he doesn't seem to give it out very well.
and I appreciated their efforts. But for the most part, although I had hoped to engage in mature discussion and debate, instead I found mostly mocking, insults, and arrogance.
Of course.
But one thing I didn't
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also
Cry
like
me a river.
if you state stupid claims, then yeah, you're gonna get stupid responses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he make a claim yet?
We're-
No.
We're getting to it. He's going to get
Okay.
expect was the comments stating that macroevolution and atheism are not connected in their worldview.
Wait.
They're not.
They're not.
You can
Yeah.
you can be an atheist and you can accept or not accept or believe in all kinds of other things.
Right.
And
Correct.
how many Christians and other religious people believe or understand evolution and accept it?
The majority of religious people worldwide accept well-established science like theories like evolution. And Joe and I had both looked this up before. Even Islam, and not picking on Islam, but a lot of Islamic countries don't have the best education and stuff.
Oh, come on.
Whatever you want to call it. 51% though. Islam is at 51%. So a slim majority, but a majority. Okay.
So,
So
in
it seems
favor
that
of
once you
evolution.
learn it, once you learn the science, you accept the science, and you still go to temple or mosque or church or whatever. So it's a weak argument.
In Kentucky, 47% of adults believe the creation story and that man walked the earth with dinosaurs. That's from
Yeah.
Pew Research.
You see,
Ford,
I'm yet to see an episode on where science converts people.
yeah, it's almost every time you hear people having conversion stories, it's always a lot of things. It's not just one thing. It's this and that, and then that led to this, and it's I
That's a
don't
good
think
point, Joe.
anybody opened up a biology book and started reading it and said, "Oh, I'm not my religion anymore."
Correct. Yes,
I don't think that-
precisely.
Yeah,
Precisely.
it's a silly argument.
However, many people open up the books and has been convinced by them, though.
Oh yeah, sure.
Science books?
Both ways. Yeah, both ways. Yeah.
You remember that one pastor that tried to kill his father with a hammer and then he got converted?
Hey, he's got a big channel. And, that's all you got to do. Well, we talked about it before, Mike, right? And just before I was getting ready, my wife sent me a video clip, and it was the Penn Jillette where he's saying, "Hey, I found Jesus. I've converted," and then he goes, "I got you," right? But just think, if I did that, how the fame and fortune would roll in if he just said that he converted. So, and he has fame and fortune, so he can imagine having more fame and fortune than he already has with his own Vegas show and everything going on, right? I mean, he's doing pretty well, so he could see himself doing better than that.
One
that's
person
also-
claimed that many atheists don't believe in macroevolution, while another said that I have no clue about what atheists believe.
Correct.
See, there's
I
the
do
sticking point, isn't it? Yeah.
I do think that basically all atheists believe evolution but not all of them will understand it. I think
Right.
Macro or micro?
Either or.
any
Yeah.
of it.
Well, there's really no difference. So
Correct.
Well, and I've said many times, and a lot of these folks online, they try to corner people with, explain this, explain that. And most people are not scientists, okay?
Yeah.
Most people go on about their lives. They're not scientists, okay? And yes, it is reasonable to just defer to the scientists by consensus that, hey, I'm not a scientist, but when almost all the scientists say something, maybe they're right. It's kind of reasonable to lean that way, right?
I've
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I've learned an equation recently, and what is funny, it is equal to tragedy plus time.
Tragedy plus time.
Tragedy plus time is hilarious.
I don't understand.
Well, no, I do kind of get it. Like
Life
like
playing
something
out.
that a bad thing that happens, like after a while,
Oh, yeah.
you often can laugh about it. Depends on how
Right.
big the tragedy is, but
It doesn't
Isn't that
matter.
Isn't that one of the operas? What? There's an opera about they're singing about tragedy the whole time, aren't they? One of the famous operas.
What's a famous opera?
I don't know. It seems to come to mind that one of the operas they do is about tragedy, and I'm not. It
Are you
just
talking about
just
Greek
sounds right.
tragedy?
But
Yes and no, but the definition of funniness is when tragedy meets time, because you cannot joke about your grandmother dying, kind of thing. So it must go beyond that in order to be funny, in order to make sense, in order to
depends how dark,
connect.
Depends how dark your sense of humor is.
Well, yeah.
My kids did a "your mom" joke at my mom's funeral. That's how dark their sense of humor is.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, see,
And
I'm with Ed. I'm with Ed here. Yeah, I know about as much opera as Bugs Bunny.
Pavarotti.
I was left wondering why such people even bother to look at such a video about the existence of God if they are so adamant and certain about their position.
because they want something to laugh at.
Yeah, we're interested. We're curious. It goes back and forth. This is always like, why are you interested in this? Why are you interested back? And
It's the same as flat Earth.
well, religion is a big part of societies and history and everything. There's
I beg to differ.
it's a big topic, so a lot of people talk about it.
Religion is something people do to other people, so you have to be concerned with it.
I do not think religion is a big part of society. I think ceremony is.
Well, they're intertwined. Yeah.
What I want to point out to this guy is that look at the title of his video, "A Challenge to Atheists." So why are atheists watching this, right? It's like maybe you should have named it something else if you don't think atheists should watch it.
Yeah. That's a great point. Why are
call
you
it a
watching
big warm
this?
blanket for Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Um,
make all this content addressed to atheists, and then bitch when atheists watch it. Like,
Yeah, well, you know how I found this?
yeah,
I use a keyword atheists, right? When I'm looking for these videos. Kind of works that way in the search.
Imagine a world where Christians never criticize atheists or tried to make us believe in Christianity, where Christians never uttered the word atheist. I don't think any of us would have a YouTube channel. If Christians
I think the Christians were the first ones to be named atheists, though. Them were the first atheists.
Yep, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't be an atheist unless you're around somebody who believes, right? Like I'm only an atheist when I'm around Christians.
They believed in the wrong gods, so yeah, they were atheists.
Well, that's debatable, but yeah.
Well, I mean, when you make a claim, you're essentially asking a question. I mean, you're asserting that it's true, but really it's a questionable thing. Any claim you make, that's how skepticism works completely, right? I mean, some people are skeptical.
Yeah, they are skeptical and wrong. Yeah.
So what
Sometimes
does he want us? What else does he want us to do at Saturday night at the Atheists? I mean, give me a break, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's just whining to complain that other people that don't believe the things you believe get together and talk about things they don't believe or things they do believe or what the weather's like.
And our friend in the chat here is everyone is atheist until they get saved, born again, baptized by the Holy Spirit. Yeah, we've heard this before, and I just want to say, and as many of us have said, if the Holy Spirit wants to reach out and let us know, give us the feeling, whatever. Have it stop by, but we just, at least.
Are you in the
myself,
proximity?
I haven't felt it.
Are you in the proximity of water to be born again?
Bathroom's right here.
Okay.
I could wave my Bible over the water and make it holy. I don't have a priest. I don't have a priest handy. I mean, but we could bless it ourselves, right? All you got to do is just say the words, right?
If it would be that easy, isn't it?
Well, it's.
I'll wash my hands first.
But it's,
Praise God for that.
Yeah.
no, but it's.
Well, he keeps
it's also like
posting it all the
everybody
time.
is.
Go ahead, Brainless. Go ahead.
Everybody's born an atheist.
Yeah.
Nobody's born religious. You become religious because somebody tells you about it.
Yeah.
So if you never encounter anybody who's Christian, you will never even be able to become a Christian.
And there are people that try and try and try too as well, that they really try to feel what everybody else is feeling around them, their religious peers, whatever religion it might be, and they don't feel it. I mean, they genuinely try and they don't feel it.
What he said is that you are born with a bias, and when you encounter a counter bias, until you encounter a counter bias, you will not know the world, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
that's
that's
the story
true.
of the Buddha, where the Buddha was, behind the walls. And once he stepped outside the walls, he said, hey, everything isn't all rosy outside these walls. Yeah.
Yep.
So something just occurred to me here reading Garrett's Isaiah quote. Basically, I, the Lord, I form the light that create the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I, the Lord, do all these things. You know who he sounds like? He sounds like Donald Trump. The Lord. I mean, the father of IVF, right? It's just like
father of IVF.
He knows more about whatever it is than anybody, unless it's something you don't want to talk about. Then it's I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that person. I don't know what you're talking about. All of a sudden, he doesn't know anything.
Oh, okay.
The Lord the Lord is always like me. It's always about him. Like, shut up about yourself already.
Well, the first 4 commandments are me, right?
Yeah, and also I want to say one thing. Like, here
we
are,
should not have.
If God exists, but if God does exist, I'm sure he doesn't. He's not a good guy.
He doesn't, and he doesn't have to be a good God.
No, but he isn't.
Yeah,
he isn't there.
There's the argument for
if he was a good God, there would not be children dying of hunger.
Yeah, but you're saying good God according to your understanding what good means, right?
Is killing babies? Is that good?
Not according to God.
According to apologists.
God, it is.
According to God, that's okay. Go for it.
Yeah.
A lot of the apologists will say whatever God does is technically good because God does it. So
they have to say that.
Yeah. No, but Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
and-
like, oh, what does God want? Does he want peace on earth? No.
No.
I come not to bring peace on earth. I come to bring a sword.
I bring a sword to set
He wants to divide everybody.
father against son and mother against brother and
Father.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Matthew, what's that? Taken?
We know some
Yeah,
Bible
Matt-
verses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere
If we
there.
all-
Don't worry, you're close.
If we all repented tomorrow, God would be bored. With our
Yeah,
He'd be like,
Yeah,
he
"Come
was.
on."
He would have been bored already.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No wrath to put down on somebody. What would he do?
Someone put out a video called Evidence That God Does Not Exist. I wouldn't waste my time on it.
Okay. That's
And
your
he
choice.
just did. He just did that, isn't it?
No, but also like that is showing how biased he is. Like
Yeah.
Right. He isn't going to
Yeah.
listen to anybody that comments
that
him, right?
already shows that he is not looking for a adult conversation about it.
Yeah.
Because if he
Another
was
obvious
for an adult conversation, then he would be okay with hearing somebody talk about it.
Well, it's argument from ignorance. Yeah, you got to listen to the other side, or you don't even know what you're arguing against, and that's why so many times these arguments are a bunch of straw man arguments about atheist this, atheist that, because they don't bother talking to an atheist.
Right,
Well,
Dave.
it's
Where, Dave? Where do you think his argument is coming from?
Oh, I'm not going to let on. I've already watched the video, so let's
Okay.
let's not have a spoiler for everybody else. But
Okay. I'm sorry.
I've already got my opinions, but I'm trying to just go along with the video. So we'll just stick with where the video is.
It is not
I
his.
don't-
It is not his books shelter kind of thing.
Is it in this video? It might be. He does have a book, so
Yeah, he has books, but he's not book.
he wrote his own book. He's got a book, so maybe
I'm
it'll
sorry.
get there.
Go on, go on.
Yeah. Hey, hello, Jess. Good to see you. Got a bunch of more people here. We got Vulpix. And Ed's here. Good to see you, Ed, the Rabid Atheist. He's got a great story, a great channel. Logan's here. Sydney's here. Nerdy's here. Hello, everybody. Spooky. y'all
I'm
doing?
sorry. When Nerdy is here, everything is good.
That's right. Nerdy's got a great channel too. Want to learn?
Yes, he does.
All kind of graphics and stuff. Nerdy, great channel. Very informative. Always appreciate any tips we can get, even for us folks that only know a little bit.
This question to atheists would be, why do you want so vehemently for there to be no God?
Okay, pause it.
Go ahead.
That's kind of flat bullshit. That's just childish. We want to know true things, and we want to dispense with false things. And you cannot make a truth statement or a true statement that the Christian God exists. You can only say, I believe God exists, or maybe the Christian God exists. I don't believe it. So convince me.
Well, he's got his arguments.
How would you?
Maybe one of them will do it. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah, but
How would you?
I'm just pointing out, it's not that we don't want God to exist. It's that we might even want God to exist, but you just haven't done the job of providing.
I would love supernatural things to exist.
I would love Bigfoot to exist.
I want Bigfoot would be nice.
No,
if ghosts exist and there's a way to exist outside of the body, wow. You know what?
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. A lot of these things,
Really?
I often say,
No, you don't.
if I could go to the store without driving in traffic, I could just imagine myself there and imagine myself back or whatever and not have to drive in traffic. That would be great, right? I'm all for it.
When it comes
just
to-
doesn't.
I just bought his book
Go ahead.
for
Go ahead, Joe.
$0 and
When-
0 cents on Kindle. So
Yeah.
when it comes to your beliefs, though, it's not. It's irrelevant if you want God to exist or not. If you're not convinced that a God exists, then you're not convinced. It doesn't matter
Right.
what you want. It's irrelevant to the whole conversation.
Well, listen to him.
I'll try.
Nerdy says ghost cockroaches are the worst. I imagine
Those are the worst.
that's got to be the worst.
Why all the vitriol and anger? Why all the mocking? Such emotions about a being you claim does not exist reeks of insecurity
We're
and of
not
simply
mocking
creatures
God.
standing with their fists raised shouting, "There's no one greater in the universe but me."
Again,
Oh, fuck you.
it's
No.
we're not angry or mad or anything else at something we don't believe in. It's the followers who act on certain things through their interpretations of very old texts that are out of date, translated how many times, and then interpreted by your local preacher, pastor, priest, or imam, or rabbi, whoever it may be, on down the line, and there is the problem. Okay, it's
Right.
It's-
Is his faith so little that he thinks that if I am opposing his God, I am greater than his God?
yeah.
I mean, that's
Well,
not
maybe you
there,
have,
isn't it?
maybe you could have an iron chariot.
Yeah.
This guy seems, he's kind of like Trump in the sense that everything he says, every criticism he makes is really kind of projection.
Yeah.
This guy seems very insecure. In fact, he reminds me of my junior high
Ex.
band director, who
Sorry.
would get so mad, his face would turn red, and his eyes would, the whites of his eyes would turn pink, and he'd start to almost cry, and then he'd just begin, just tongue lashing all of us. And
Well, we finally agree with Garrett here. Donald Trump is an atheist. Yeah, I don't think Donald Trump would bow down to anyone, including a god. No.
he'll believe anything.
Absolutely not a god.
If somebody who thinks himself a god, that would be one of the persons that does.
Quick question: what does it mean? Everyone is an atheist until they get saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you have like Muslims who maybe convert to Christianity. You might have Zoroastrians.
Do you think Muslims converted to Christianity are saved?
Not yet.
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, some say saved is always saved. Some say no, you can lose your being saved. So again,
It's
there
faith
comes the
versus
problem.
works kind of thing.
Yeah, so many
Well,
interpretations.
if they believe they are.
Well, every church or denomination knows for sure they're right. So there you go. Just check with them, whichever one it is. They're right. So there you go.
So that you guys, so that you guys know, praying hands emoji is just a high five.
Yeah, there is no praying emoji. There's only the high five emoji. Don't ever call it praying emoji again.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Or we're going to hold the rainbow hostage until we get the high five back.
Guys, I gotta go.
So in this video,
My babysitting duties are early this evening, apparently. So
Have a
I'm going
good
to try to
time.
listen in, but I won't be able to
Okay.
participate. So y'all have a
Have a
great
good
evening.
time. Yep, you too,
Bye,
Scott.
Scott.
Have fun.
Yeah, Scott's got the grandkids, and so lots of fun. Enjoy it. They grow up fast.
Scott needs to wear that fedora.
Yeah, well, next time I'll tell him he's got to have his hat on. Hey, we got Tux here. Hello, Tux. How you doing?
Jimmy.
Oh, Tux is here.
You can hop on if you want. Link is pinned there. Mr. Tux, Mr. Jimmy Tux.
I want to see what, if anything, atheists actually believe or possess other than an adamant desire to convince themselves
Stop.
that God does not exist.
There you go. That's all we have is an adamant
Is there-
desire
is there-
to prove God doesn't exist.
Is there anything that atheists believe in? What does
Sure.
atheists believe in?
Not unanimously.
Things
Is
that
there?
can, I mean, things that can be proven. And
Well,
I believe in my friends. I kind of believe in myself. So yeah.
So you said your friends and not your family.
I believe in possibilities.
Oh, my friends are more my family than my blood.
I don't
I
believe
see.
in your friends.
I believe in possibilities, right? Anything is technically possible, right? Is it actually part of the natural world?
No, of course not. No.
The numbers lean, but like you can't never go to 100%, right? You can
No,
go
but-
to 99.9, but you always you to be a true skeptic and be truly open-minded, you can never say, oh, 100%, 100%.
Correct.
No, you have to leave that little bit because anybody could be wrong. And like it is often brought up from creationists, well, the scientists could be wrong. And it's like, sure.
Yes,
Prove them wrong.
but
You know?
would you did you ever open the conversation by saying, "I believe that"?
Yeah.
Mm,
Did you?
hmm.
I've gone into a conversation before saying, first thing I want to tell you is I agree with a lot of the things you've said.
No, you didn't. No, come on.
Oh, yes, I did. It's one of my videos. Go watch it. I can prove it. I went in, and I said, first off, I'm going to say, a bunch of the things you were saying, we agree on a bunch of these things. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions. That's how I started out when I went on the stream.
And
Hopefully, some of you will engage in mature discussion and seriously consider the evidence that I'm going to present.
Okay.
Mature discussions.
I'm very mature.
I'm sorry
really.
about that.
I don't know
I'm
you
just in a-
anything.
I'm just in a good mood. Okay. I'm just in a good mood here. So, but I'm very sincere. We're being very sincere. Okay.
Yes.
Be sincere. Are you
No,
getting
what
sincere?
also-
Come on.
Get that look. Get that sincere look.
and the biggest difference between people that are claiming things like God exists, Bible is correct, they are only looking for things that prove them right. Scientists are always looking for things that prove them wrong.
Let me ask a question.
That's something
Why
when
should
they
we
say,
give? Why,
go ahead, Joe. Go
Sorry.
ahead. No, you go ahead,
why
Joe.
should we give his questions any more validity than he gives ours? Because he's already said he is not interested in anything that we have to say about it, and that we're all immature. But we're supposed to treat his questions with some kind of respect and stuff. I mean, why? You want to make absurd claims? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, that's sorry.
Well, and anybody that puts a video out,
No.
including Joe and I and everybody else, you might get some comments you don't like. Okay. My advice is the advice that I take from others is if somebody comments on your video, say, thanks for watching. Okay. You don't have to be offended or anything else, right? You can just say thanks for watching, right? And leave it there, right? You got a comment. It helps your algorithm. Okay. Just let it go. Just let it go.
No, that's
So my questions
selfish.
to you are just
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
no, that's all right.
two,
That's
and
right.
they are as follows. Do you, as an atheist, believe the Big Bang Theory based on the cosmological evidence presented in the last 100 years?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But
Okay.
being an atheist doesn't have anything to do with it. Like I said,
Yes, but do you believe in
Anybody-
the last 100 years of science
this
stuff?
is a man on the street question, or
Correct.
person on the street question, right? where most people are not scientists. So if you walk up to somebody on the street and you say, "Do you believe in the Big Bang?" And people are going to say, "Well, I pretty sure that's what science says, like something about the beginning of the universe." Yeah, but was it the beginning of the universe? Was it what came before the universe? No, I don't know. And the person on the street isn't going to know. And saying it as an atheist is irrelevant. It should be, do you believe the Big Bang Theory based on cosmological evidence presented in the last 100 years? You can leave that atheist part out. It's the same question to anybody.
We mean cosmological evidence.
Well, he's got the evidence. He's going to go through it.
But also, like, I would say yes, because like that's the best guess that we can base off of all the evidence that we've gathered in the last, like he says, last 100 years, but like that is built on a lot more evidence. But still, yes.
Although I have a feeling that he's gonna go into Darwin and neo-Darwinism, and we are neo-Darwinism kind of thing.
Well, he already equated atheism with macroevolution, so there was already something.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Cosmological evidence. Okay.
And then number 2 is going to be, if the universe is finite, that is finite right now. Yeah, finite. Don't want to get the wrong one. If
Allegedly.
The universe is finite and expanding, would you seriously consider that something or somewhere that should be someone, may exist outside of somewhere outside of the universe into which it is expanding. Okay. Well, I don't know.
I know the answer.
What's space expanding into, Joe?
That's a misunderstanding of physics and space-time.
No. No.
The expansion of the universe is the expansion of space and time. There isn't a place outside of it.
I have something to say about that.
There could be a multiverse, but
no, it couldn't be a multiverse.
It's a credible theory. I mean,
it's a credible theory, but you cannot get that from the number 2. I think he is referring to Revelations. You're gonna get everlasting life, eternal life, and the Greek on that is ionic life, and ionic life is something else than that.
I don't know what any of that means.
No, you lost me.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know what you're talking about.
Correct.
You say their translation is wrong?
When John 3:16, I don't know. When Jesus is saying that
promise of eternal life.
Eternal life. So when he's saying eternal life in the texts, is not eternal life, is ionic life.
So that's putting it outside of the universe, is what you're saying then?
I don't know, but it's not eternal. That's for sure.
Well, I'm trying to. This is the thing.
Nobody's making that leap.
Outside of the universe. I'm wondering what he's, that maybe he's hinting at. Well, if you have an outside of the universe, then God could be outside of the universe, which is back to Frank Turek type argument.
All places that exist within space-time. They exist in a space and a time. Outside of the universe is just it's nonsense. It doesn't mean anything.
It's not nonsense. It's outside your space and your time. It doesn't match on your graph.
Well,
That's all it is.
That's always
that
moving the
doesn't match.
goalpost.
That doesn't
Yeah.
match the definition that physics gives to space time. And I'm
mean
not
that-
saying that I know this for sure, but yeah, I could be
No.
wrong. I'm not saying it's for sure right, but if space time is the thing that is expanding and something exists, what we mean by something existing is it exists in a space at a time, and outside of space time is not existing. That's there's no place for it to exist. Outside is not a place when you're talking about space time, because you're defining a space when you say outside. This space outside of it, which is nonsense talk. It doesn't make any sense.
Do you know what -1 is on a graph?
What?
Yep.
I mean, I know how to graph things. What's the question?
Where do you put a -1 point on a graph?
To the left of the axis. And
Right. So outside of space
-1,
time.
-1 is, that's a graph.
So
it's not space time.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it applies to space time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
but theoretically, yeah, I know.
Okay, so where on the graph paper do you put the number that's outside of the graph?
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, okay, I see. And I'm
Mike's
sorry
on
if I don't understand what you're saying.
No,
I'm
no,
from Kentucky.
I
You don't.
no,
Your accent
no,
gets me a lot.
it's not about that. You complete me in so many ways. Okay. No heart. No. Fucking hell.
All right. Well, I think
Go on, Dave.
we've pretty much we answered his thing here, so we'll see what he's got to say about it.
And number 2,
All right, Ed. Good to
if
see
the
you.
universe
Thanks for
is
stopping by.
finite and expanding, would you seriously consider that something or somewhere may exist outside of the universe into which it is expanding?
Oh, I think I called that one.
You see what I mean?
I don't know how I saw it coming. I did see the video, but I mean, you could see it coming though. That's why he's asking the question. He wants you to say there's something outside of the universe that it can expand into. So why can't God be outside of the universe too? That's exactly why he's proposing this.
Yeah.
And if it was up against Joe, Joe already defeated it, and he would have he would have lost that debate online right then and there. So Joe was on that. So there's your defeater. There's nothing outside of space time.
He's defining his own space so that he can define a God into it.
Yep, exactly.
Those are my 2 questions to you. So let's examine the development of the Big Bang Theory. Prior to the 20th century, the general consensus was that although the universe may be infinitely large, it was basically static. Neither the discoveries of Copernicus nor Newton contradicted this idea. Stephen Hawking stated it was generally accepted that the universe had existed forever in an unchanging state, or it had been created at an infinite time in the past, more or less as we observe it today. This is
Correct.
That's as best as they knew at the time.
Yep.
And
Correct.
And that's what they saw. And then, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Correct.
He said something right. He said something true. This is true.
Yeah, we don't have a lot to say. Okay.
And science did its best to disprove that.
In 1915,
Yep. Yeah, like you're saying, there's always somebody trying to disprove it. And a lot of these things as they came along, yeah, sure, a lot of people were shaking their head and saying, no, it's always been this way. And now you're changing the science. And
yeah, but those ones
okay
that
long
want
time
to
ago,
disprove
but
it are the KGV only kind of people. and not other
Well,
kind
yeah.
of people.
That's the real version.
Of course.
Einstein published his general theory of relativity, which predicted that space expands.
It doesn't mean what he thinks it means, though.
Yeah.
Einstein also added his cosmological constant to this theory to maintain his belief in the universe being static,
Again,
and later
it-
admitted that this was the biggest blunder of his life.
See,
Yeah.
there you go. He wasn't right. That's
The speed of light, it doesn't. It
Can't be right
doesn't
about
mean what
everything.
he thinks it means.
well, he again, he's trying to say that Einstein is saying that there's something outside of the universe again.
Yeah.
That's what his argument is, and I don't think Einstein ever said any such thing.
No, he does. He did.
His equations
Yeah, I
are
love
about,
how they always
are
like to
about
point
the
at old
universe.
times.
Yeah. Well, and some of stuff Einstein is still being proved right about, but doesn't mean he was right about everything.
Sure.
And the same thing when they talk about Isaac Newton or any of these other people, doesn't mean they were right about everything. You have to look at what they were right about
Right.
and what is still being confirmed today, not things that have been radically changed from those days.
Yeah, it's like some of Einstein's relativity, like the dilation of time, was proven when they first tried and set up GPS,
Mhm.
because they figured out, hey, fuck, we actually have to take that in account. And lately, we have proven and even taken photos of black holes, which were only part of Einstein's theories, and he himself did not believe they existed. But he says, like, science says the numbers say it should, but I'm not sure if they exist. But we've proven it.
And that's
Right.
some of those things with especially the theoretical stuff. It may take a long time for the technology to catch up to test these things. And that's
I mean,
that's
what
the
was
reality
the discovery?
we're in.
What was the discovery that made us decide that the universe wasn't static? It was redshift, the Doppler effect, right? So, well, it's not actually Doppler, but it was redshift, right? So that's why we changed our minds. We made new discoveries. I mean, it's.
And
But
when
they
was
always
that
want to point back
discovery?
at science from the early 1900s or 1700s or wherever, and then say, well, they said this, and it's like, yeah, they said this, and then we discovered more things.
And this is in the last 100 years or so. Yeah, that's a matter of how long of a technology, hundreds of years of technology waiting to catch up to even see these things.
He worded it very carefully.
Yeah.
He said the 20th century rather than saying when those things were said.
He seems to have
Because if he
everything
would have
written
said
down.
1950s, nobody would have taken him seriously.
He seems to have everything written down, so we'll give him that he seems to have everything prepared.
Wait a minute. There is no they said this without a booty in that. Kind of. Everything is sexual.
Okay.
In the 1920s, Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian cosmologist, proposed that the universe was expanding. Therefore, there may have been a time when it began from an incredibly dense state. Lemaitre argued that originally the universe was a single particle, that which he called the primeval atom. Lemaitre's theory was influenced by Edwin Hubble's discovery in 1929 of the distances between galaxies determined by their red shifts.
1929, right?
Yeah.
So I said, 100 years? Okay.
Yeah, that's not the important part.
An increase in wavelength. Hubble observed that wherever you look in the sky, all other galaxies are moving away as if we are within a kind of cosmic balloon. The emerging Big Bang theory was not welcomed by many, as it strongly implied the possibility of a cause outside of the universe.
Negative.
No, it was just, well, if everything's moving away, then everything can be backed up. And when you looked at everything all backed up to where it was moving away from, it was all seeming to come from one place.
Right. So Edwin Hubble, his
That's it.
discovery is that everything is moving away from us. And the further away it is, the faster it's moving away from us. And you can measure that through redshift. It had nothing to do with where the universe came from. He's not the one that then said, oh, well, it must have came from one place. That was later. Edwin Hubble just made the discovery of redshift and that everything was moving away. He was not trying to assert where the universe came from or any of that other stuff.
To be honest, yeah. According to Zephyr, Andromeda galaxy is coming closer, and it will come closer, and it will collide with our galaxy, and nothing will touch us.
Yeah, probably
They
not,
don't-
because there's a lot of empty space.
Yeah, it all depends where it intermixes and everything, and
Exactly.
interaction that goes. We're not
Like,
going to be around to
we're
see
not
it.
going to be around for that.
though.
and quite possibly, not even any human will be around for that.
Oh no!
Wait. What do you mean
Get up.
any human will be around for that? Are you saying that
Well,
we're gonna
Elon Musk will
evolve
be on
more
another
than
planet.
this?
That could be, or just go fucking extinct.
Could be.
So is this or extinct?
Or get out of
No.
Dodge. I mean,
It's not a dichotomy.
space travel is always a possibility, just not right now. I mean, you can't
Yeah,
get
but that's-
very
that's-
far right
forever.
now. But
That's Star Trekky kind of thing.
that's my
and
plan
that's-
too, Joe. So far, so good, right?
Yeah. I'm doing it every day.
1948, Sir Fred Hoyle contributed to the steady state theory. The theory was that the universe was infinite and kept in balance by matter which had previously ceased to exist, but simply coming into existence out of nothing at the same rate as it was
Wait.
being destroyed.
The matter seems to stop existing and came back existing.
Well, Hoyle had some interesting ideas,
Oh,
but yeah, I don't think that was exactly what he meant. But we'll see.
Now, the
here.
problem with the theory, as pointed out by Isaac Asimov, was that it breaks the first law of thermodynamics, which states that matter and energy can neither be self-created nor destroyed. Matter
Wait.
can be...
Wait.
since when Isaac Asimov tells us laws of nature?
And
Well,
Isaac Asimov was a renowned atheist.
I know, but he wasn't a scientist though.
Actually, he was a pretty good science
A
comic.
little bit,
He wrote a lot of really good books on science. So
correct.
basically, he isn't just a science fiction author. If you haven't read his nonfiction stuff, you
But-
haven't read science.
Why is he quoting Asimov though?
He's lying, I think.
Yeah, I think isn't he mixing up his Isaacs? Wasn't it Isaac Newton? As
He's mixing
know.
up his Isaacs.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God.
a horrible problem. That happens a lot.
Could be.
converted into energy and vice versa. But their sum total remains the same, expressed in the dictum ex nihilo nihilo fit. Out of nothing, nothing comes.
Yeah, but
I thought that's come out of never mind.
there's already though that energy can't be created. So there's the problem there of if energy can't be created, then you don't need a creator. I mean, there's something else going on. Even if it's this in and out of a quantum field, etc., it's still not nothing. So
I don't think
You have to
I don't think he
demonstrate a
said
nothing.
That. I think he said that the energy cannot be created under this circumstances. But
Right,
under these circumstances, the energy can be created, but not
it's-
on those.
it's not a good circumstance to begin with, because I don't know
Right.
who's arguing that in the first place.
I just fact checked him on Asimov, and Asimov did not say that the Big Bang contradicts the first law of thermodynamics. What he said is that physics is going to be very different when you think about what happened. What's about the Big
I had
Bang.
a feeling. I had a feeling about that because Asimov
Thanks,
is
Mike.
honest.
What's
Unlike
that?
this guy.
Mike's keeping him honest.
Yeah.
The second law of thermodynamics states that the universe is running down. As the rotation of planets and stars slow down and burn themselves out, the universe becomes less and less organized as energy is dissipated. The logical conclusion is that the universe cannot be eternal, or stars, for example, would have ceased to exist long ago.
Well, yeah, if all the stars burned out already, but the universe, we've got a universe age at about 14 billion years. So
I would just refer him to Roger Penrose, because Penrose has a pretty interesting theory about all that.
Yeah.
Which denies what he just said. So anyway,
Is that the
and there's a
whole
lot
thing?
and there's a lot of other ones too.
why are we listening to this guy tell us about physics? I mean, it's like, come on.
Exactly.
He's
You can't
challenging
even
you.
put it on top of your head.
Because it's funny.
He's not challenging it.
He's about to say
He's not
something really
challenging
dumb.
it.
Anyway.
I was told there would be no fact checking.
Oh, the whole fact checking shit. Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about fact checking.
All of this strongly suggests that if the universe is becoming less ordered, it must have been more ordered in the past and had a highly ordered beginning.
Wait.
In 19...
Wrong.
Something was ordered, and then something was more ordered
Yeah, no, it's
than what it was ordered.
it was simple, and then things got
complicated.
complicated.
It's
Yeah,
complicated.
more ordered,
Right.
more ordered,
Ordered.
and then it's then there's but
The universe
that's
never
the
has
whole
been
beginning
ordered.
of the
Well,
universe thing. That's the problem. The beginning of the universe is the problem. We don't know that part. So
The universe
Entropy is not
began,
equivalent to order.
and then it started beginning even more.
but also,
well, his point
if you
is
say
valid,
ordered,
though.
it was ordered. Like, yeah, okay, you can say that because singularity is everything in one place. So you could say that is ordered, and
No,
by
it's
expanding
arbitrary,
it,
though.
it
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
arbitrary. Yeah, correct.
But what he's
It's
saying
according-
is a good point. That obviously, if there was an infinite time in the past in the universe, and the stars and the energy in the universe can only last so
Allegedly.
long, which everybody's already said that someday the universe is just going to go dark, right? So
is a being
yeah,
that was
we wouldn't
outside
see
of
all the stars we do, and
or the net.
I think Lawrence Krauss is famous for saying this, that we're in a fortunate time right now where we can see so many stars, because from here on out, it's going to be fewer and fewer lights in the sky. So we're just at a good time. So
yeah.
Here's the problem with making the equivalency between entropy and order, though, because whether things are ordered or not is completely arbitrary. Entropy has to do with energy. It's not necessarily an order of things. Things go from
Yes, but Joey, who orders things?
There is no order of things.
No, but who orders
order
them?
is something we assign. It's a trait we assign to things. You can say the solar system is ordered, but you're assigning that to it. It's not put together in some way. Order kind of asserts
do you know
that it
that?
was created or made that way.
How do you know that?
Well, there's no evidence to support that it is all I'm saying.
Okay.
There's we don't We don't see anything that suggests that. If you're going to assert that it is there, then that would be the positive claim of it.
You just said that it is, though.
No, I said that if you put that trait on it, it's arbitrary because it's you doing it. Like order is subjective to whoever's calling it ordered, right? What how do you decide something's ordered? It's a subjective emotional appeal.
I see where you're getting that.
Okay.
1948, George Gamow published a paper claiming that because matter becomes increasingly hot when condensed, the early universe must have been incredibly hot when compressed into an intensely minute size.
Yep. Everybody knows the song. The universe was in a hot, dense state.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, we're good there.
Now, he speculated that as the universe expanded from this point, it would have left vestiges of cosmic background radiation as a thermal signature.
And it did.
Yes.
And they found it. Okay,
One
we're
of the
still
biggest
good.
discoveries ever in cosmology.
We're still good. We're on a roll here. We're agreeing a lot. So there's got to be a bump in the road coming up.
In 1965, American physicists Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson detected cosmic background radiation, which has been confirmed repeatedly by other scientists and said to be, by many, to be the crowning glory of the Big Bang Theory, which proves Hoyle's steady-state theory false. All of
Yep, we're still good. We're on a roll.
Yeah.
We are on a roll, Steve. Yeah, his name's Steve. We're on a roll, Steve. All right.
Get him,
What you
Steve.
got for
the known verifiable evidence points to a universe which began as an incredibly small and unimaginably hot dot of condensed pure energy and matter, which is the primal source of space, time, and matter.
Correct.
Well, one of the things, though, as far as the dot and size of the area of that's kind of vague.
We know up to the Planck second, right?
Right.
What the
Yeah.
universe was doing.
Yeah. How exactly big it was. I mean, Hawaiian shirt guy likes to say the point of a pin or something. It's not exact like that. It's just, yeah, whatever they, like Joe said, whenever you reach that one point, that's what it was.
The universe
does it matter, though?
continues to
No.
It doesn't matter. It's just it's just a clarification because I heard him say period, like, a dot on a paper. That's all. And it's just,
I got you.
that's not exactly accurate. So just pointing that out.
expand. So two fundamental questions became obvious. Number one, how fast is the rate of expansion? And number two,
Wait. The rate of expansion is the speed of light in a vacuum, correct?
Oh, it's actually faster than that.
No, it's faster, I think.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
In all directions.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning, I think it was like faster for the first 300,000
Space.
years or something like that. I don't know.
Space
That's
can
why-
expand faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, that's why the universe is bigger than 14 billion years.
Yep.
Because
I think
people
it's
say,
safe
how
to
can it
say
be
that.
bigger than that? It's because the space is expanded faster than the speed of light. And that's why even if you're traveling at the speed of light, you could never get to the edge of the universe. Because it would it would always be out in front of you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. The universe is expanding more than the speed of light, more than what
Right.
we
Yep.
think the speed
And that's really hard to understand. And when you
Correct, yeah.
for a lot of people, they're like, that doesn't make any sense. And it's like, it doesn't mean that it's not true.
Yeah, it's not intuitive, but I mean, the evidence
Right.
supports it. So,
is the rate of expansion increasing or decreasing? Now,
Increasing. Right?
here's my question. If the rate of expansion is increasing the further you go and it has surpassed the speed of light, can you say that if you continue to go further that the expansion of space is infinite? I mean, do you reach that point that it continues to expand faster and faster?
How
as
can
go?
you reach the infinite
Yeah.
point?
Well, if it,
Where you can't.
yeah, that's
but-
it. what's driving the expansion, and that's when you get into dark matter, dark energy, right?
Wow.
Because if the energy gets used up, then there wouldn't be anything to drive the universe.
Yes.
But if the dark energy or dark matter or whatever is driving it, then that's total opposite. So yeah, then again, you're like, that's when you start getting confused when they start talking about these things.
Yeah,
And
I mean, we just
with
don't, we don't
Penrose,
know.
yeah, Penrose said that the end of the universe is mathematically, the end of the universe looks a lot like the beginning of the universe.
Like the beginning, right? Yeah. There's this whole scale thing, and if you don't understand Penrose, then shut the fuck up. and I'm looking at the size of his bookshelf, and I'm looking at the size of my bookshelves, and you know what?
And they are the same.
Why he would know.
Yeah. Well, it is. And again, it's difficult for a lot of people to understand these things. It's difficult for me to understand. I'll admit
it shouldn't be.
But for some of these things, though, that's why you have these great minds working them out. So it is what it is, right?
When you're talking about how basically what there is and how the universe, what is outside the universe, quote unquote, there's the only way to understand it is going to be with mathematics. That's how we're going to understand it. And when we look at that math, we're going to say that doesn't make any sense at all. It's not going to be intuitive. So I mean, like, everybody should just shut the hell up about it until until you get a physics degree and you start working on it. Then we'll listen to it. Right?
Well, I mean, we're watching a video about physics, so we're gonna have to talk about it.
No, we're not. And Mike said some profound things.
Well, it doesn't really matter what he's saying. It's how it pertains to his argument. So, we can defer to the physics. That's fine. But is it going to validate what he's trying to say or not? That's what we're interested in.
Various theories were put forward regarding how gravity would affect the expansion, but the most accepted is that the universe is balanced by the deceleration caused by gravity, so that, although the universe will continue to expand forever, the rate of expansion is slowing down, but will not bring it to an end. This view was adopted by Hawking and fellow Cambridge physicist Neil Turok in what is described as critical density. The Big Bang Theory.
Wait. Did he say Turok?
Yeah. I don't know who that one is. It's not.
He tried to say Turok.
Well, like I say, yeah, he has. I think it's an Australian accent, I believe, or something. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
A
couple of things he said earlier. I noticed. Yeah, he's got a little accent. So, and Joe understands. We don't always know what Joe's saying either. So,
Okay.
Quickly became a subject of more than just cosmological theory and discovery, but philosophical and theological debate. The fact that scientists claim to be able to fairly accurately calculate the beginning of the universe to around about 13.8 billion years leads to the conclusion that the universe had a beginning.
No,
he doesn't.
It calculates the age of the Big Bang. That's what it does.
Yeah.
Right, Joe? You're muted, Joe.
Joey, can you calculate the age of the beginning?
So it doesn't. That's not at all what the Big Bang proposes. The Big Bang is just talking about when the universe began to expand, when space-time began to expand, and of course there's other things after that, but it's not proposing that it's the beginning. It's just the expansion.
But that's not what he was saying, though.
That is what he said. Yeah, he said that the universe began to exist 14 billion years ago.
We don't know that.
But it expanded 14 billion years ago. Yes. That's what they're calculating.
And yes, we know that.
Yes, we know that, right.
Yes, we know that.
Fundamentalist Christians who take a literal six-day view of the Bible rejected the theory, while Christian scientists welcomed it, pointing out that it had taken human beings over 3,000 years to prove the first verse of the Bible, that in the beginning God created the universe.
I'm curious, Mike.
Seriously?
I want to ask Mike. Mike's got a lot of books. Mike, how many books begin with the words "in the beginning"?
None of them on my shelf.
But I mean,
Come on, Mike. You must have a
similar.
Bible there.
Oh, there's something similar, right?
I do have a Bible somewhere at the bottom of a bunch of trash.
Post-hoc rationalization.
But you have to set up your story.
That's where I keep my copy of Origin of the Species. Like, I don't read
Origin
old,
of the Species? What?
yeah, I don't read old books.
Well, usually you're setting up your story, right? So, once upon a time, long ago,
okay, you're right.
in a cave, lived our great ancestors, and they drew pictures on the wall, and then
Question.
an archaeologist in France, so many years later, found them, and they're still there on the wall. Yeah. You
Question
gotta set
about
up
that.
your story, right?
So, Dave, I put a whole bunch of my children's books for my kids when they were little in storage, and a lot of them start out with "in the beginning." So
There you go.
Yeah.
Question about that. What do you guys think it was the point of spitting on your hand to make a print on a fucking cave that no one will discover it for the next 1,000
I think
years?
some people are just artistic, and they just
no,
they just have the
the
they have the desire to do it, and they do it.
Yeah, but for 56 times 50,000
Yeah.
times in a cave.
Well,
That
they
was-
didn't
I
have
mean,
a lot
maybe
else to do either. They didn't have a lot else to do.
Teenagers messing up. The
We can't really say what they were thinking, but I can tell you this: my children, they'll I've got a 6-year-old, and he'll say, "Hey, look at this," and it's like nothing. and maybe they were like, "Hey, look, I can make handprints," and it's just maybe. I mean, I don't know what drove them to do it. It's
Well, if you've got dirty hands and
Yeah.
you leaned up against the wall, and then you looked and you said, "Hey, it stayed there," right? That's all it would take.
What do you think that
Just dirty hands, and
what
then the
what do you
the
think-
person that was that little more artistic said, "Wait a minute, if I just touch it up a little bit, right? Yeah."
I'm gonna get all handsy.
What do you think, as you as a modern person of sorts, what do you think a sprayed hand on a wall means from 50,000 years ago?
I was here.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's pretty much it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
They
I
knew
was
of
here.
death. I mean, they knew of death. So
Look what I
my
did.
mom would
If-
yelled at my mom
if-
would have yelled at him for it.
Well, especially if there was, your father and your grandfather and everybody else had left those things on the wall, and you could see, hey, if I sketch something on the wall, it's still there even when that person is dead and gone. So
Right.
yeah, pretty easy to put together.
Yeah, but
It wouldn't take a lot of complex thinking to put those things together.
Yeah, but we can do that with the cemetery stones today,
Yep.
instead of handprints.
Today, yes,
kind
today.
of thing.
Yeah, silly
Same
practice.
thing.
Is that the same thing? Well,
Yeah, same thing.
no.
It's
No.
a similar
No.
thing, I think.
You try to leave something behind. Well, some people write books or make videos that are, as long as the internet exists, our conversation
people-
could technically exist as long as the
Legacy.
internet does. So, yeah.
If you fall in love with a
Hey,
girl,
John, how you doing?
carve it in.
Phantom, hello.
Hello.
Right?
What's that, Mike?
Why do we get on? Why do we make
If-
videos on YouTube?
If you fall in love with a girl, you go and carve it in a tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's like
Yes.
yeah.
we were here. Yeah, marking this moment in time.
Exactly.
Well, and then there you go. You
We
had a
wanted to
successful
make it
hunt.
immortal. We
Yeah,
wanted.
you had a successful hunt that you're going to survive another season. Your kids are going to be fed. You're happy.
You don't know
and
that.
you draw a picture on the wall of that, whatever it was that you hunted, and you celebrate it. A great moment in time. You didn't have photographs. You didn't
Aliens did
have
it.
selfies. Yeah, so the best you had was drawing a picture on the wall. So there you go. And that proves how long we've been artistic, really, which is pretty amazing that, before
We've
a
been
lot of before
artistic
fire,
as
maybe.
long we had
Yeah,
cats
before
with us.
fire, we may have been artistic, right? I mean, that's an
No, it's not
early
fire.
an early
I don't think it's fire though.
development, was artistic.
Well, I actually think like we discovered fire and other things because we were artistic, trying things.
Yeah.
We were trying shit.
Sure. We're curious.
We were trying shit to what?
Just because, like
Well,
we say, we
I mean, it
owe
seems-
many
seems to
thanks to
be-
all those people that ate those mushrooms and berries that we know not to eat now.
Yeah, true.
Right? Thank you very much for all those that sacrificed themselves in the line of don't eat that mushroom.
I would defer to the theory of evolution.
I didn't get
so-
the memo. I did not get that memo.
Mike knows.
You
big,
just
difference,
eat
big difference between one mushroom and another. Big difference.
Correct.
And all joking aside, if you do not know what you are doing, do not pick a wild mushroom and eat it. Do not.
Correct.
Oh, we do that all the
Bad.
time here.
Bad. Yeah, I know.
We're just fine.
I saw the video on the whites. I think they got some of those mushrooms. I was laughing all that, and I needed that laugh because that was going on a few days before I had my hearing, and
That was
I
a lot
really-
of fun.
I really needed that, Joe. I really did. I appreciate it. I needed the
That
distraction.
was fun, I have to say.
They are a riot, and once again, we want to repeat that we know they have a lot of problems, and we wish them well, but some things are just funny. I'm sorry,
They're
and they
funny as
ask
shit to
for it.
watch in action, though.
They ask for it. These people go in public on display and do these things. They're not just keeping it in the house. So it's fair game, right? It's fair game, right,
Yeah.
Joe? They're at the bar doing this. It's fair game.
they're entertainers.
Hello, Top Tester and Liz. Good to see you.
You walk
But
into
the
a bar
question-
and the guy on the mic says, "She's got the prettiest titties in this bar."
Yeah, he did. As soon as she walked in the door. And I don't think she did, but
No.
that every thinking person is faced with are obvious. And although various theories have been presented, some of which are reasonable and others illogical, are as follows. Number one, where did the original matter and energy of the universe come from?
We don't know.
Wait.
We don't know.
Matter and energy.
Well, they're interchangeable. Matter, energy. So
That
it doesn't
violates
matter.
thermodynamics.
Well, there was something there before the Big Bang. That's about all you can say. So
And you think it was
Dark
matter
story.
and energy?
don't know. There was something before the Big Bang. So
I know what was there. Your mom.
Joe Mama.
It has to be.
Well, Hawking said it was a whole other dimension and different time,
No, he didn't.
and everything was rolling into itself, and it was just doing.
I'm not
its
sure
thing.
he said that though.
Yeah, it's like he said it was like a big donut. It was
Should I
rolling
Have you
in
lived in the
itself.
cyclical
No.
universe?
But the point being is though that we only measure back to the Big Bang. What was it? Can it be measured before the Big Bang?
What
not
is
according to how
the
we measure
north?
space time? Yeah, what's north of the North Pole, right?
Yeah, correct.
So the question, and like we already pointed out, we don't know. We don't have the math yet. We don't have the technology yet. We don't have the whatever is going to be needed, the telescope or whatever it is. That's just not available yet. So where did it all come from?
Where is this?
I don't know. If space is created as the universe is expanding into what it is, he already asked that. He's pushing it again here.
And number two,
he's pushing
if
it.
space is created as the universe is expanding, into what is it expanding? Now, there is no
one
such
says
thing
that.
as a pure
Into itself.
We already said that. Yeah, we already know why you're using that question.
purely objective person, and none of us enjoy admitting we may be or have been wrong. Usually, people approach both of these two questions from a theist or atheist conviction, and they refuse to be convinced that our view is wrong, as the personal stakes are just too high.
Wrong.
No.
That's the religious people
Was-
indeed.
What's
Yeah.
that thing that is personal stakes? What's personal stakes that are too high, though?
It's not, because if they prove these things one way or another, and that's the accepted science, then we're good with it. We're not
Am I-
going to buck up against it. It's usually
Am I
the
gonna
theists
go
that
to
are bucking
hell
up against
because of this?
Yeah, because of
Yeah,
the Saturday Night at the
The
Atheist,
problem is,
everybody goes
for a
there.
lot of people,
You believe in evolution, you are. That's just the way I understand. That's straight from the demons themselves. So
no, but the problem is, for a lot of people, it's hard to admit that they're wrong, especially
Sure.
religious people.
Sure.
Are
And
you
like,
are you wrong?
admit, I'm often wrong, and like I hate admitting that I'm wrong.
Are you wrong about this?
I'm
maybe.
not 100% sure. Could be.
Yeah, 100% sure I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, those two
But
things
we-
aren't the same, though, are they?
But we
You
know his argument
religion is
isn't
very
good.
much a whole worldview. While and I know some of us here don't like to talk about worldviews, but religion is a whole worldview. Just rejecting it or preferring skepticism is looking at the evidence. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not the same thing.
religion actually is a worldview, and
I agree.
a very confused worldview, but it's a worldview.
Yes.
Atheism is
Yeah.
not a worldview. Atheism is
No,
what
I
we
agree.
do see. Yeah.
Atheism is like woke. They just want it to be used for everything and anything they don't like. And it's just,
However,
well,
that's
Mike-
because
Mike-
it's atheist, and it's like, no, it's got nothing to do with it. There's
The
plenty of
consequence-
how do
scientists
you
that are
view
religious.
the world as an atheist, though?
you
Oh,
don't.
as
Just
an
accept reality.
Atheist, I don't be as a naturalist. I have a view. Like I have worked on a worldview, but prior to the year 2000, I don't think I really had a worldview. I just lived
Correct.
my life.
Correct.
Right.
And then I
So,
started studying
the
philosophy,
reason
It's what.
and it's like,
Yeah.
the reason that I bring that up is
Yes.
because there's larger consequences to the worldview, a religious worldview, right? So being wrong whenever you have a religious worldview is a lot different than being wrong when you don't hold a worldview, right?
Wait a minute.
Or
What are
your
the
worldview-
consequences of an atheist worldview?
An
There's not
atheist
an
can have a
atheist
worldview. That's the point. Is that that doesn't apply though. Atheism
my
strictly.
Joey,
What's that?
You said there
I
are
love my
consequences to. I'm sorry.
Which one?
the one on Sonata. This is a public a public service message, a warning, basically. It's called
Yeah.
Sonata. What do you think your chances are of going to hell if you're here?
Okay, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you know. Yeah, I don't know if you know. Well, it's pretty obvious. Okay.
Saturday
Santa.
night atheist.
Santa.
Could it be Satan?
Oh no, I never thought of that.
Aren't those the same letters?
Yeah, this is where I was going
So
with it.
Santa and Satan are the same person.
I think so.
We got 3 sixes hanging
Come
around
talk to me,
somewhere.
son, sometime, and we'll discuss that. Okay.
All we need-
and
All we need is 3
Fanta.
sixes and a black cat and full moon and
Did you
Where's
guys
one of
have
the numerology-
watched the Disenchantment? Disenchantment?
Movie?
That's
The
the TV
You
series.
getting Max mushrooms?
yeah.
I've seen a commercial for it. I haven't seen it though.
Oh, I gotta watch it. Is it on Netflix?
Yeah. Lucy the Lucifer demon.
Oh, let's see. Oh,
The series
yeah.
Lucifer, that was awesome.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love
Yeah. It's made by Matt Groening and the Simpson guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love it.
Not buying into
I
a
like
worldview is a worldview. Oh,
I like
crap.
that.
Yeah.
Can't get out of anything. Jeez.
Well,
Maya's on it.
what I always want to point out to these guys is that everybody has a worldview of naturalism. Everybody lives their life according to naturalism. I mean, when you go to the grocery store,
I'll drink to that.
pick things up. And that's sort of the basic worldview that all people have. We all learn how to live in the world, right? It's a natural world.
Well,
That's
I
how
don't- Do they have that view, or is it just a consequence that they're in the natural world that those things happen?
Well, yeah, the two
Because
things
I
are
don't think all people agree on the same reality.
yeah, you may not like when you get into the philosophical stuff, but when you live your life, every one of us today will keep breathing, will eat, will pet our pets and hug our children. I mean, we all live in
Except
a natural world.
except Joey.
What's that?
I think
Except
naturalism
Joey.
dictates what they do and how they interact. But
Little dopamine shot for some joy, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Sign
all
me up.
natural. Yeah, sign me up. I used to buy dopamine.
Of course, it'll also agnostic.
Where'd you get dopamine from?
I used to buy it by the gram.
Okay.
Who genuinely
the
consider
dopamine
all
source.
of the evidence. People who are not fully invested in a particular stated position of either theist or atheist. The late Stephen Hawking and Richard Dawkins, for example, are public figures who have stated there is no God, and they are committed to that position no matter how much evidence is presented to question their claim.
That's not true.
No, they've already made that commitment to that argument. But once again, like we already said, we could say we're pretty sure, but you could present some evidence. The thing is, for what? How many minutes? 9.
What I believe is different than what
9 minutes.
what I claim.
Yeah, and the challenge has so far been that we're just agreeing with you what some of these scientists said, except for the one Mike said you misquoted. So, yeah. and as far as this other thing, I already see and we've already, I think everybody agreed that this thing with what's it expanding into is you just want a place where God can reside outside of the universe. Yep. So I think that's the only argument. Is he's trying to set up a bad argument to prove his argument that we already don't agree with.
To the first question about the origin of matter, Dawkins has made some incredibly foolish statements publicly, desperately trying to contradict the first law of thermodynamics that from nothing, nothing comes.
Wrong.
Dawkins insisted on trying to redefine.
Dawkins doesn't claim that.
We got Carrie Ann here. Hello, Carrie Ann. Great to see you.
Hey, Carrie.
And I see
Richard Dawkins, not a physicist.
Maya here,
Dawkins
and
has said
Chris
some
Moore
foolish
is
things.
here.
That isn't one of them.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Yeah, here's where he's kind of slipping a little bit.
Find nothing as something, yet still absolutely.
Yes, see, there it is. They're not saying it's nothing. They're saying something. That's
Right.
Lawrence Krauss with his book that is the universe from nothing isn't really nothing. Nothing would actually have to be something. And Peter Atkins proposes a split of whatever it was in the beginning that caused everything to be basically positive, negative, matter, antimatter, all that kind of thing. But when pressed on and what this split out of nothing would be, he also has to say, well, obviously that nothing would have to be something. So the nothing argument is, it always leads to, they're always going to have to be, there's something. So nothing hasn't been defined. Mr. James Apperson. Hello, James.
What's up, James?
Oh,
He has no explanation of how this something magically appeared out of nothing.
Because again, they're not saying that.
Right. Straw man.
Hawking presented several theories which are absolutely unprovable and highly implausible. These theories were designed to eliminate the need to confirm that the universe had an actual beginning. Firstly, he suggested that the universe may be traced back to being infinitely smaller, with no actual beginning, and just exploded when it reached a particular size and density.
no, not explode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Started
it's
expanding,
expanded,
not
yeah.
exploding.
But these
And
are
Dawkins
theories.
isn't a
They're
physicist.
they're proposing these ideas, but again, we don't know. So you can propose a lot of different ideas, and maybe one of them will guess right, but it doesn't really matter until you can, back it up.
I got a question. Is he going to come to a point here eventually?
Nope. Nope.
No.
We
395 of us are scumbags. That's the point.
we keep hoping. Hey, Leo, how you doing?
Hi, Leo.
Hi, I'm doing good. Can I say something quick? Because I hear this
Sure.
all the time, and it's just so fucking just irritating. They talk about, well, atheists think the universe just was created out of nothing. No, that's what you think happened. You think
yeah.
God most literally created the universe ex nihilo out of nothing. I
Yeah, but-
don't understand.
Yes, yes, Leo.
Most
What?
atheists don't think the universe was created at all.
That's my response when they say that too. I love that.
Yeah, that dismantles both on every parts of that question and statement and every word in it.
But Leo, if the universe wasn't created at all, why are we here?
There is no why we are here. It's a
Yeah.
meaningless
reason.
question.
What,
It's like
why
saying
is-
what's
what's the
north of
question?
the
Go watch
North
last
Pole.
week.
The question has
Here-
it makes no
here
sense.
they
There's
come.
no semantics in it.
No, it's
and-
not about semantics. It's not.
Well, it is about meaning.
It is.
If a
Apologists-
sentence contains no meaning, then the sentence means nothing.
An apologist wants to use why, but a scientist isn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
by
Science
what
knows the
mechanisms?
of how we are here? Not
By
why
what
we are here.
mechanisms me is here?
What do you mean by me? Do you mean me as in this notion that we have that's developed throughout our lives, or do you mean me as in like your body?
I exist. Why?
I don't think there's a
For
why you
what?
exist.
Yeah.
For a long time, I always thought my purpose was to test drugs, but I don't know.
Every time I hear of that, all I can think of is Steve Martin in The Jerk when he discovered what his special purpose was for.
I don't have a purpose
Yeah.
outside what I have decided.
No
my
Jerk
purpose
fans.
is. And my purpose is to live and enjoy life and to be kind and to try to do something to make the world a better place for future generations of people I will never know and will never meet.
Yeah. Right.
Le-
We
leaving
assign
leaving-
our own purpose.
Leaving every person and every place that you've been better than you encountered it.
A noble way to go.
That's at least what I try. I like hearing people up and I'm like, yeah, just
Well, there's a meme that
Try to
goes
do
around
best.
that says if you can't help someone, at least don't hurt them.
Mhm.
Right?
that's a good one. Oh yeah, and also one thing that I find very funny,
Wait.
what religious people always do, The biggest insult they can give science is calling it a religion.
Yeah.
Joe and I have discussed this. I think it's
Yeah.
the "I'm rubber, you're glue" defense, right? That
At length,
they couldn't argue the argument that all you have is faith, where science has evidence to back it up. So they just decided, yeah, I'm rubber, you're glue, right?
It's always
So,
projection.
Yeah, science is just another belief, just like we have, right? It could be why isn't creation taught in school along with evolution? Because they're both beliefs, right? So that's where they
Yeah, but
set
one of
it
those
up.
beliefs is justified by empirical evidence that can be attained by examining the external world, and the other one isn't.
It's
The
just
other one
the
is
argument.
doctrine and dogma.
Well, yeah, the
the
creationist argument is what they're using. It's not a good argument, but it's what they're using. They're trying to level the field where nobody has an advantage.
And like the only thing like we believe as about science is we believe that the scientists are not bullshitting us.
Right. Yeah.
Oh well, everything they do the everything is a religion thing, right? Everything is a religion.
We
if you
That
believe
just
in
makes the
science,
term religion meaningless, and then why apply it to anything?
Exactly,
Yeah, but
and
to
that's
be
what
fair-
I'm saying. They're trying to take it all away so that they can just have a level playing field, and then any holes they can poke in anything they think is tipping the balance in their favor. That's what I think the idea
but
is.
to be fair, like a lot of these people don't know anything else besides believing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I
sure.
have lots of
Yeah.
beliefs. We got to remember, belief.
Apologists and believers are
Word.
different. Sorry.
To believe
Sorry,
something is just to think that it's true. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes we have beliefs that actually are true. And if we believe those things and we are justified in believing those things, we would call
Knowledge.
that knowledge. So I believe that the sun emits electromagnetic radiation. But even more than that, I know that the sun emits electromagnetic radiation.
Yep.
Because it really does.
Yeah. Tay used to say, in Buddhism, all views are wrong views. When you get in touch with reality, that is no longer called views; it is called wisdom. So, as Leo was just pointing out, when you know things, you know them, and you no longer need a view on it. Doesn't matter what your view is. If your view was you always thought something else, and now it's different, doesn't really matter what your view was. You either accept the new information as knowledge or you don't.
Sounds
And
like
with-
somebody got
and-
psychedelics to me.
And Joe and I know, and Mike and us all, probably all of us know all too well, with the creationists and mud fossilers and flat earthers and everything else. They just love to deny all kinds of parts of reality in favor of their worldview.
Well, it's all post hoc rationalization.
Okay, there can only be one mud fossiler. I mean, there's a lot of Christians, but there's only one mud fossiler.
Roger,
Right.
Roger,
I want a shirt
He
that
is
says
unique.
Mud Fossil University.
I want a T-shirt that has MFU on it. I think that
MFU,
would be
yeah.
a great T-shirt.
Perfect.
No, I
Now,
have.
this was an
Oh,
No, go ahead.
I am fine with them saying that science is a religion for me, and I worship it, and I do. So I started worshiping it every day. I mean, I decided, what the hell, I'm going to adopt it, and I'm fine with them saying I have faith. I do have a lot of faith. I have faith in science. I have faith in my hand being in front of me. I have a lot of faith. So,
But we mustn't equivocate,
point?
which is usually what they're doing on the word faith.
right.
When people talk about, oh man, you're gonna do well on this test, I have faith in you. What we mean is that I have a lot of trust or confidence in your abilities and your skills to be able to succeed at this goal. But when we talk about religious faith, the thing that needs to be understood is that's not what they mean. Or they might mean that, but it's trust or confidence placed in something without any otherwise good reason to place it there. You don't
Yeah, they're
have like
accusing
these
us
external
of not
ideas
having
that
thought about it,
buff that.
right?
What was that?
So they're basically accusing us of not having thought about our worldview. Like,
Right.
we
I think
followed
so.
a logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
Is this
agree.
guy ever going to get done talking about the Big Bang?
No.
Let's see.
Attempt to go backwards beyond the Big Bang itself, stating that our ability to measure the age of the universe is only based on the moment of the Big Bang.
Yes,
We have gone
we
before
already
the
said-
Big Bang, actually. That's a thing we've done. It's called inflation.
we were talking about the date of the universe. Pretty is basically though back to the Big Bang. So that's what the argument
back to
was
the
about
end
the
of
14
inflation,
billion. Yes.
I gotta find
Yes.
Ken Rose.
The obvious problem with Hawking's theory is that there is no evidence that something can be infinitely small. And as some
What?
Why not?
What does? There's no evidence that something can be infinitely. Well, see, this is where when people just throw out the words,
Burden
I
shifting.
get confused. This is why I ask frequently what people mean by what they mean. I go, what does he mean by evidence here? Is he referring to some specific standard that needs to be met? Is he referring to something else? Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no evidence that something cannot be infinitely small. So
Exactly.
we're back to square one.
Right.
He's trying to shift the burden because it doesn't matter if something can be infinitely small. He's provided no evidence for it being created either, which was really the assertion that he made.
Yeah.
So
And the other thing is, just to add on to that, is that the universe was probably never infinitely small to begin with.
true.
And as we were saying, and Mike was pointing out, and I agreed, well, we just have to wait until they figure it out.
Yeah.
Like they said, they don't even have the math to even work on these things, right? So you got to have a little
The thing
patience
is,
on some of these things.
The best models that we do have with respect to the origins of the universe and all of that stuff that physicists and cosmologists are working on, the vast majority of them provide for an eternal universe. Why is it that we don't have the correct model? We know that, but the best ones we do have almost all provide for an eternal universe. Why is that?
Thermodynamics.
I love the thermodynamics argument. And I love it because, oh God, I can't remember the name of the functions, but the functions have a specific name and they apply in thermodynamics. And you can have a system that is undergoing entropy where, you know, the quote unquote disorder, that's really just a bad word to use, but I'm going to use it here, is ever increasing. It could have been doing that since eternity past. That's entirely a mathematically possible thing. So a system can undergo entropy and do so infinitely, forever, into the past, into the from forever ago to forever into the future. It's always undergoing entropy.
Well,
That's
I mean,
a
that's
thing that
what
can
the law of thermodynamics suggests. Yeah. The laws of thermodynamics, rather.
And I don't think he doesn't. Well, he's trying to have it both ways. I think is what he's trying to do.
have his cake.
scientists
You
pointed
need to.
out, it sounds very similar to the 14th century scholastic argument
Here it
about how
comes.
many angels can dance on the head of a needle. On the
Well, angels are magical beings, so as many as you want.
Yeah, as many as you can imagine.
Exactly.
second question about expansion, several theories have also been proposed. One is the multiverse theory. Our universe began within a pre-existing universe and grows like...
You should pause here because there isn't a multiverse theory. There are several of them. And I personally don't accept the notion of a multiverse. I don't bash people that do. There's good reasons to. But a lot of the theories that try to extend our knowledge of the origins of the universe, it's not like let's make multiverses in this sort of like post hoc way. It's more like they kind of just fall out of the theories.
We've got a Steve Copeland here. I believe this is Steve in the video. And he says, well, lads, the scientific method does provide evidence in the areas of cosmology, biology, etc. Perhaps you would enjoy to critique the video regarding prophecies. That would
No,
be interesting.
prophecies are boring. Nobody cares about
Yeah,
Yeah.
prophecies.
Dave,
that would be more
I'd
for
rather
my,
drink bleach.
well, that would be more on my Grassman Chronicles channel.
hey, Dave,
So maybe
I
over
just
there.
dropped a comment in one of his videos that we were reviewing him, and
okay.
apparently he got the message, so that's cool. So
Okay.
If
Well,
this
good
is
to-
the guy
good
in the
to have you.
videos,
yeah,
go ahead,
Yep.
Dave.
No, it's all right. Go ahead, Leo.
I would love to have him on my channel just to
Yeah,
talk about these things. Doesn't have to be a formal debate.
Yeah.
I would give him 10 minutes, a hard 10 minutes at the beginning of the discussion to lay out his case, sort of start the discussion, what it is we're going to talk about. And at the end of it, I'll give him like 5 minutes to wrap up. So he would have the first word and the last word in the discussion. But I would love to have a discussion with him about the existence of God and the nature of reality, if he'd be interested. Of course, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do it if he doesn't want to. And I'm not going to call him a coward or say that he's running if he doesn't.
No.
That's not how it works. But
hello, I want to say hello to Bree. Good to see you, Bree. And yeah, Steve, you're always welcome here too. You might ever want to get together and talk about it, anything.
If I'm not
Get a
mistaken,
hold of us. We'd love to have you on.
If I'm
Which
not
video
mistaken,
does Steve
tomorrow
want to
on
look
the DSA we're talking about prophecies.
DSA, I feel like I should know what that stands for.
Leave
The Deep
Leave-
State Annex.
leave the name of the video, Steve, and we'll take a look at it. This one caught my eye because this is kind of what we do here Saturday nights, and it said a challenge to atheists caught my eye, and so that's why we're looking at this one. But if you got another one to want us to look at, be happy to take a look at it.
A cosmic balloon within that universe. This solves the problem of pre-existing matter and energy. It has even been proposed that the mystery of black holes may actually be other new universes which have begun in our own universe. The obvious question is, if there was one original universe, then where did the matter and energy come from to create it? And like Hawking's theory, the answer is that there is no primal universe. It simply goes backwards in time to infinity. And again,
Well,
The matter and energy.
Go ahead, Leo.
Okay. I just wanted to address this whole. Well, where does the matter and the energy come from?
Mhm.
It doesn't. There was never an instant where there was like this literal philosophical nothingness, and then stuff just kind of was there. Things don't literally come into existence. I mean, like, think about it for a second. Everything that you would claim in the universe has come into existence hasn't. Everything, all of the mass energy that makes it up has always been there. It's always been a part of the universe. It changes forms, it moves, it undergoes various processes at various different scales. And we use language to describe that. So when we say that you came into existence at your conception, nothing new sort of like entered into the space-time reality where it was previously not a part of it. That does not happen. Things don't sort of arrive on the stage of existence, as Joe Schmid would say. That's not how it works. The universe didn't come from. Universes don't do a come from. That's just, there was an, it's like your house begins at the front door. Now, this example might be a little bit contrived, but I think it makes the point. Your house begins at the front door, but your house did not begin to exist at the front door. The whole house is there, and the front door is sort of like a front boundary or edge to the already existing house. It's the same with our universe. The Big Bang, inflation, or whatever might be at the beginning, if the universe has an absolute beginning, as William Lane Craig would put it, would just be sort of a front edge, much like the first inch of a meter stick that goes infinitely in the other direction. The meter stick didn't come into existence at the first inch. The first inch is just the first inch. It's just the front edge of this infinitely long in one direction meter stick. That's it. The whole meter stick is already there, and it exists with a front edge.
I wanted to say Breakfast Tacos has a bunch of videos out. He was going back and forth with other people with his arguments of there was always pre-existing stuff, which basically what Leo was saying. So that's what I was going to say. Mike, I think you wanted to say something.
I don't think so.
Was it Joe? Joe, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about, universes being created in black holes. There are people that have asserted that, but also he's combining that while talking about Stephen Hawking, and we actually named the radiation Hawking radiation from when black holes are dissolving and releasing their energy back into our universe. So that that doesn't seem to be the case, but I feel like he combined the multiple hypotheses here, some of which are supported and some which aren't. But that's just me.
Right.
Just to add on to what Joe just said really quickly, he's right. So with Hawking radiation, that we've never directly observed it for a variety of reasons. I mean, the way in which you would have to isolate a black hole to be capable of detecting Hawking radiation is far beyond the capabilities of humans. We have simulated it. It is theoretically described. It's a part of our theories. It's one of those things where we've never directly observed it, but when everything about reality is pointing to something like that, we have good reason to think it's there. And what it really confirms is that all of the energy, the information, remains firmly in our universe. We may not be able to decode it or understand it at least yet, but it stays here in our reality. Black holes aren't pinching off or branching off into other universes because all of the information that they absorb throughout their lifetimes remains firmly in our universe. And I believe this was a bet, if my history is correct here, between Leonard Susskind and Stephen Hawking, and Leonard Susskind won that bet, where he said, yeah, all the information stays firmly in our universe, and he was right. It does. And Hawking conceded that Susskind won that bet.
I
Very
own
good.
Mike Denton's books, and yeah, he's I'm really sorry that I paid money for him.
For whose books?
Michael Denton.
He was asked if anybody read this books, and Mike said
Yeah,
yes, he
he's
did.
kind of being a prick.
I got all
Michael
the books.
Denton.
Hey, it's nothing personal here, Steve. We're just having a good time taking a look at your video, because you challenged us. So.
Yeah, we're not being rude to you. It's not,
Yeah,
I feel
We're
like
being rude to your arguments.
we're just taking the challenge. We're a friendly bunch here, and you're always welcome. All right. So.
Game. There's no way to prove such a theory, and one could argue that using words like infinity in such a way in no way makes it true, but crudely
Doesn't make it false either.
right.
attempts to circumvent the fundamental laws of causality. One
There are
other
no
theory
laws of
worth
causality. Causality is not a law-like thing.
No.
It's a
Yeah, I've had-
regularity that we observe in reality, and causality might not be itself a thing out in the world, but may more be a part
It is for
of
Christians.
well, for some of them, yeah. But when you
Yeah.
actually get into the metaphysics of causation and you talk to metaphysicians that study this, some of them will say it could be the case that causality isn't a thing out there in the world, but more a feature of the models and the sort of conceptual schemas that humans use to understand regularity in the world.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that that idea is true. I'm just throwing it out there that it is an idea and it could potentially be true.
causality is problematic for like when you start trying to trace something down to the actual cause, you get lost in the details.
Yes.
Judea Pearl wrote a good book on causation, which I have attempted to read many times, and someday I'm actually going to succeed.
What's the title? Do you know what the specific title is?
I think it's causation.
Okay.
Judea Pearl.
I'll look up Judea Pearl causation and see what I can get.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I've heard you mention that book before, and it sounds interesting.
Yeah. It's quite a book. I mean, it's a really interesting take on it. It's mathematical as mathematical take on causation. Anyway,
Is he like going into the cosmological argument? Is that what he's doing here?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Is the oscillating model in which the universe expands, collapses, and then repeats the cycle. A big bang, big crunch, and big bounce.
That's similar to what Penrose says.
However,
Yeah.
as Beatrice Tinsley of Yale
Penrose has a really deep argument on it, and it's I was trying to find the video on it that I just watched. It was a really good video where Penrose tried to explain it, basically about it just keeps expanding, but it's I don't know.
If it's the one if it's the same one that I saw, I literally watched it over and over a couple of times because I was trying so hard to follow along. It's very deep, very deep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll try to find it.
points out, there is no known physics to reverse the collapse and bounce back to a new expansion. Hawking made the following statement, which pretty much sums up his fanatical attempts to theorize a universe without a beginning. So long as the universe...
Yeah, so I think he's making a case for there being a beginning. Is that what all this is about? That there had to be
There has to be a beginning, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, as an atheist, you could grant that and just say, like I said, that the beginning is not a begins to exist. It's just a front edge, much like a ruler, much like your house and its front door.
So scientists look at these different possibilities, right? And they may not be the case necessarily, but they can use that, the math and the observations, to then describe how other things in the universe work. Because Beatrice Tinsley, that's not what her studies necessarily were. I mean, she had a lot of stuff about the evolution of galaxies and stuff. It's not. I don't know. I just feel like it's misrepresenting what she actually did in science.
Where's the beginning of this ball? It's like,
yeah.
No, that's actually a really good way to put it. It's like hold up a sphere and say, "Where's the beginning of the sphere?"
Yeah,
right.
Now it's a finitely defined object, but it makes no sense to ask about its beginning. That's not the right question. That's the problem here. They don't ask the right questions. They're caught up in this Aristotelian way of thinking, and we have now. Aristotle has some good ideas, but we've moved so far beyond those means of thinking that they're just not the right kinds of questions to ask anymore.
We talked about this earlier. People ask him why.
I didn't say hi to Ember, hello Ember, good to see you, Ember.
We use science to. Sorry.
Oh, I wanted to shout out to Andrew Cumming. I haven't seen him for a while.
And Andrew too. Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Oh, and Steve says Andrew. This is like therapy
group for
guys trying to convince themselves of their belief system. Kind of pathetic. Well, this is Saturday night at the Atheists, and we've been getting together on Saturday nights and talking about things. And you can call it what it is, if it's therapy or whatever. I have a good time and it's a lot of fun. So if that's good therapy, then I'm all for it.
And we're doing it now on Saturday night, but you're probably going to do it on Sunday morning.
Yeah. I want to say something about that too, though. He started this video with talking about how there was only 5 comments that were worth his time to read. And then he comes into the chat and calls us pathetic. I feel like I feel like there's a lot of projection here on who behaves badly where. Just because we're challenging the things that you're saying and you're getting the science obviously wrong, which we can show, doesn't make us pathetic. And why you would come and say that after starting your video acting like it's the atheists that are somehow being mean to you. We haven't said anything mean about you at all.
Everything that's been said, at least since I've been listening and then have joined, has been about your arguments, the points that you're raising, the things that you're saying.
We're not
about
making
you
anything.
as a person.
We're not making anything personal here.
But
We're just taking the challenge. That's all.
I also wanted to say, I don't really care what you think about. I'm interested in what your response to our arguments, to our objections are. That's all I'm interested in. You can think that we're a therapy group, that you can think all that stuff, but it's entirely irrelevant to what your response to our objections to your arguments are. That is what I'm interested in.
I can tell you,
and
this
you are
is not
free to join this stream and respond to them. And everybody in here would absolutely love for you to do that.
And this is not my mom's basement. This is my house, and my mother is long gone and deceased.
What's wrong with basement?
I just wanted to point. No, I wanted to point out this isn't my mom's basement. This isn't my mom's basement.
I have 2 rooms down here in my own full bathroom.
I don't have a basement. I got a crawl space.
That doesn't make us wrong, Steve.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, we've got plenty of former believers in the community, former pastors. Ed was just here earlier. Ed's a former pastor at the Rabid Atheist. He well understands both sides. People just reach different conclusions. So
now
I got to say goodbye, guys.
All right.
Okay. Now he's saying, we're going to encounter Christ and we're going to be sorry. It's like, really? So you're going to get your daddy's bigger than our daddy, and you're going to get your daddy.
I feel like though this is where they revert.
All right, Joe.
When they're hearing objections that they can't respond to, is that
right?
Take it easy, Joe. Is that they just you'll see one day. I promise you'll see. And it's
you'll get it when
you have nothing, do you? You don't have a response. Because if you did, you'd have just given it.
Well, I don't think I've lived that bad a life. And if I'm getting judged for the life I've lived, then so be it. Nothing I can do about it. So
that's what they do. If you used to be a Christian and then you become an atheist, you never really knew Christ. Yes, I did. I didn't want to become an atheist. It's not like I woke up one day and said, you know what? I'm sick of this Jesus guy. I'm going to be an atheist. That's not how it works at all. I did not choose to stop being a Christian.
Stop by more often, Steve. You'll actually hear from some atheists, and maybe more than just a couple people in your chat that were giving you a hard time. We're happy to give arguments and listen to your arguments and everything else, and without just it's difficult sometimes. People don't want to go on and on and on in the comments section, but we're happy to. So you get a hold of us, and we'll talk to you. We'll have you on multiple times.
And a big plus if you come here, you've got Dave's awesome voice.
That's right. I'm just swooning the ladies over here. So.
You just got one of those voices that is so nice to listen to.
As a former drug addict, if I died and woke up in hell, I'd be like, oh, back at the party.
There you go.
We could suppose it had a creator, but if the universe is boundary or edge, it would have neither beginning nor end. It would simply be. What place then for a creator?
That's a good question.
I don't
seem to be
that
one.
So long as the universe had a beginning, we could suppose it had a creator. I think that the idea. So, and this is why it's easy to grant that the universe could have had a beginning, and even an absolute beginning, like where there's literally nothing, quote unquote, prior. and I say quote unquote because the term prior would itself have no meaning because it's a temporal term. But I would argue that the idea that the universe doesn't have a creator is overdetermined, such that the universe merely having a beginning is just not enough to establish to any degree of a meaningful probability that the universe had a creator. There are problems with the notion of creatio ex nihilo. There are problems with the idea of an immaterial mind. I mean, there's just a lot of other problems irrelevant to whether or not the universe had a beginning, with the idea that it had a creator, such that it having a beginning is not enough to infer a creator in any meaningful inductive or abductive way.
And there you go, Steve. There's one for you to back on to think about.
And I want to clarify, I'm not trying to like change Steve's mind and make him not a Christian. I'm just responding to the arguments that he's giving and why I think they don't work as an atheist.
And as pointed out before, we have a bunch of different views here. People have different ideals and everything on this panel here. We don't always agree with everything each other says. So it's not like that. It's just, we're just throwing out our responses. It's casual atmosphere here. So
I mean, anybody that knows me and Speed knows that despite being good friends, there's a lot that we vehemently disagree with each other
right.
on.
Yeah, me and Leo is a good example of that. Don't get us started.
But you know what I think? I think that shows that, how do I word this? That we're not a hive mind. We still have independence to our thought. Being atheist clearly does not mean we all think the same things.
Yep.
No, we only agree on one thing, at least on one thing.
There is no God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we all agree Bigfoot is the best cryptid. So
that's why we got together.
Beyond that, you know, it's all fair.
57. Hawking's reasoning is sound. Indeed, one of the comments on my previous video was, space has no edge. So at least the person who made the comment understood what was at stake. The reality is, to date, the verifiable evidence points to space having both a definitive beginning and a boundary or edge like a cosmic balloon.
No.
Like
just no. Like I said earlier, if you walked into the office of most theoretical cosmogonists, which are going to be cosmologists that are studying particularly the origins of the universe, what may have existed before, all of that stuff, they're going to tell you, and you can see this on Skydive Phil's channel, Phil Hopper's channel. He's had discussions literally with those exact physicists, and they'll tell you, we don't know. We have no idea if there is an absolute boundary to the pastness, so to speak, of the universe, or whether it goes on infinitely, or whether there's multiverses. There are a number of perfectly viable mathematical models and physical models that suggest so, and there are some that don't. Some that suggest that there's a multiverse, that the universe goes infinitely into the past. We're working the problem out. We just don't know yet. We've got good models in both directions.
And Andrew points out here, there are atheists who think ghosts are real, believe in ESP, think the earth is flat. Heck,
we both know who he's talking about when he says the one that denies the Big Bang theory.
I pointed that out earlier. Atheism generally is about no God. Now, some include other supernatural things, but that's technicalities.
Atheism is not monolithic.
Yeah, atheists believe in a lot of different things. Astrology, they're ones that follow their horoscope. It doesn't mean there's no book. There's no book. It's just a rejection of your claim. That's all. And because, as our friend, I forget their name that was here earlier, was posting, may the Holy Spirit come to you, or whatever they were posting. Well, that therein is a problem too. You say the Holy Spirit visited you. I say no Holy Spirit has visited me. So maybe that's the Holy Spirit's fault
Hello?
for showing up at your house and not at mine, right?
Yeah, and it's quite funny that Holy Spirit usually shows up to people that already believe.
And we have
The Holy Spirit showed
we
up
have
for Mary.
We have Bree. Hello, Bree. The
Hi.
beautiful and wonderful Bree.
Hello. I just want to I was in the side chat talking to him a little bit, but I just want to tell Steve, you don't have to be aggressive. Or come in here and talk to them. They're fine. They're not gonna like start calling you
bite.
names and stuff.
B.S. Lewis said, "I am the third nicest atheist on YouTube." So I mean, you're welcome to come by.
Yeah, these guys are puppies. They're not gonna they're gonna attack your arguments, except if you say something. If you present your character in a certain way, I'm sure you can make some enemies in this room. But it's all about character. Right. You can keep yourself under control, and
he really is trying to make an enemy out of me here.
Right, I know. It's like
Mike's a nice guy. Give him a break. He's reaching out.
Yeah.
Makes them responses instead of attacking persons. Is sort of the idea, right?
So, and as I explained earlier, Steve, a lot of us got smaller channels and stuff, and a little back and forth like this is good for everybody. You want to make a response back. They do really well. They get a lot of views. We help each other out. We have a little back and forth, and we can be civil about it. And you seem to enjoy making videos, and so do we. So, we can help each other out and still agree to disagree.
Subs, right?
Okay.
I gave him a couple subs, and I actually bought his book. So
yeah, see,
the guy bought your book. He's actually interested in what you have to say. He's not here to just trying to bully you, man. He's interested in what you have to say and wants to engage with you. So, yeah. Oh, you can say the scripture calls us fools, but you can let God be the one that judges us, right? And then you can just be like, "Hey, I'm a servant of God. This is why I believe," without saying, "Hey, it's you guys are fools, so I have to bully you." You don't have to do that. Your book actually says you can just talk to us. Your book actually encourages you to talk to us, doesn't it?
Jesus said that there's no reason for him to be with the well. It's the sick that he needs to find, or something like that. Yeah, Jesus basically said, "You all agree with me. I'm looking for people that don't." So.
And I'd say you probably get one-on-one with anybody on this screen if you asked for it. Everybody else will shut up. If you don't want to feel overwhelmed and you want to have a conversation with Mike, we'll all shut up and sit back and listen. Dave will even drop us backstage if he has to, and you can talk to Mike one-on-one or
get the whip and the chair out and put them all in line. No problem.
So in his book,
I recommend Leo if you want to talk to somebody one-on-one, but Mike will have to deal.
Mike's a great channel to come on. It's relaxed over there. If you want to come on and have a talk, Mike would love to have you on over there. And
I love ideas. So he says in his book, the true atheist has a life with no hope, a life which ends in what the German philosopher Nietzsche called nihilism. He understood that true atheism was to live like an animal. I don't know how pleasant the conversation would be. I mean, I'd be pleasant, but I'm not sure.
I don't disagree with living like animals. I think everybody lives like animals, though.
Yeah, we all live like animals.
We're humans. And humans are a type of animal.
And we knew Joe wasn't feeling his best either. He ducked out there, but yeah, Joe, we hope you're feeling well.
Well, I feel terrible. I haven't gone anywhere. I've got
Mike's hanging in there. He's tough. He is tough to the core.
I got the Rona.
Tough cookie.
Making us look bad, Mike. Just making us look bad. Gosh.
Expanding within an area or space we know nothing about. Now, I fully understand that if I mention the Bible here at this point, many of you will quickly develop a childish rage and stop watching. But
no. We were pointing out earlier when our friend was through the chat that no need to point Bible verses. Most of us know them pretty good. A lot of us have read the Bible. We cite it often. When we
haven't.
don't know, we're hitting Bible Hub real quick and we're looking it up. Most of us at least have some familiarity with what the Bible says.
And we'll have scholars come around every now and then that know the books inside and out and went to college for this sort of stuff, like Kip or Josh or
exactly the names I was thinking of. Yep, there's some. We've got some distinguished people that make videos too for all kinds of points in history and different times of the religions and how they've changed and everything. We're just regular folks here. We just hanging out. Okay, we're just hanging out on a Saturday. That's what this is.
And to be honest, we're enjoying your video. So chill, bro.
Yeah,
we're enjoying that you give us something to talk about. Thank you. Yeah. Mike's enjoying your book.
The entire video is about the Big Bang. I think.
I gave him a sub too. I subscribe too. So you got some subs out of it, Steve. Take it for what it is. Take those W's when you get them. You know what I mean?
But at least I will have separated the purely subjective adolescents from those who are still capable of objective critique. The Bible is overthrown.
Well, we're trying to point out that we're not just adolescents. We can have a good discussion. You're invited to enjoy to all of our channels. Leo invited you too. You've got 3 invites, 3 channels you can come on. Just get a hold of us. Contact information's in our descriptions, or if not, Mike, tell them what your email is.
It is. Which one? He's not going to.
You want him to use.
It's mike.bruzenak@gmail.com. I can put the spelling. Wait a minute. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can have. I have a wrench.
You have a wrench.
I don't know, man.
And mine's easy. It's allhailbigfoot@gmail.com. That's allhailbigfoot, all one word, @gmail.com. Get a hold of me. Leo, you want to tell them how to get a hold of you?
Yeah, leophilius95@gmail.com, spelled the way you see it on the screen. You might have to zoom in a little bit, but some people get the spelling wrong. But yeah, all you got to do is be like, hey, I'd love to come on your channel, talk about these things.
There you go, Steve. Get a hold of any of us. We'll be non-adolescent. Okay.
3,000 years old.
Except for brainless. We're not speaking for brainless.
No. Yeah. No, I cannot act like an adult. Sorry.
You wouldn't want to come on my channel, I doubt, or have me on your channel. But yeah, I mean,
you might get stung.
And I also don't have. Well, I kind of have a channel, but I don't do shit on there.
You can get you in touch with Bree too. You got 4 offers here, Steve. So get a hold of us. We'll keep you busy talking.
Yet its very first verse stated that the universe was not infinite, but had a beginning. And just as importantly, it also offers an explanation for what is beyond the boundary or edge of space. The word cosmos in Scripture is translated as both universe, heavens, or heaven, and the Bible states that there are 3 of them. The first is to the outer edge of the Earth's atmosphere, the second to the edge of the cosmic balloon that we call space, and the third, God's primary dwelling place, which is both infinite and eternal. The third heaven is called exactly that, and the Bible offers a considerable amount of details about this place and its inhabitants.
I don't think so. We've had this discussion before. It doesn't say a whole lot about heaven.
And it doesn't say the universe had a beginning either. When you talk to actual biblical scholars, they will tell you that, like in the original Hebrew or whatever it is that the Old Testament was written in, this would not be interpreted, particularly within the context of their culture, as the idea that the universe had some sort of beginning, because they wouldn't have understood what the universe was. To most of these cultures, the earth and like what they could immediately see in the sky was all that they knew.
And there's also too the Bible says in the beginning, but it says in the beginning God hovered over the waters. There was already something there. There had to be. It seems like there was already something there. Again,
But
using
and another thing,
pre-existing stuff.
and another thing, it wouldn't in the original. It wouldn't actually be in the beginning. God created it, the heavens and the earth. It would be more when God began to create the heavens.
So a good way to punctuate that's all they knew is like, for instance, lions are mentioned 150 times in the Bible, but tigers are never mentioned once. It's because the only thing they knew was the land they lived in where there was lions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't know about kangaroos either,
Right.
or corn.
Or tomatoes. No pasta sauce until we get to the New World. Sorry.
Tomato season's dwindling down here. That's one of my favorite times of year is garden candy. I just love Ohio tomatoes. So good.
There was no ketchup at the Last Supper.
Oh,
there might have been some mustard though.
Probably, yeah. Some mustard.
Yeah.
Although some are non-corporeal, others have physical bodies which are other than flesh and blood. The Apostle Paul even claimed to have been taken to this place, but could find no appropriate words to describe it.
My opinion about Paul is that I think he fasted and induced hallucinations. So you can see a lot of cool things, especially when you're predisposed to wanting to see them. So if you want to see a wonderful heaven, you're going to see a wonderful heaven. Other than that, I don't think it's any evidence for anything other than people having dreams or hallucinations or just wishful thinking.
My personal questions to those who are still watching are these. Number one.
We're still watching. We're one of the few. We're the chosen. We're still watching. We made it through with you, Steve. I hope you appreciate that.
1. Do you adhere to the Big Bang Theory as the best scientific evidence of the origin of the universe that we have to date?
That's not what the Big Bang Theory is.
I'd say it's an explanation for the current state that the universe exists in.
I would say that the Big Bang Theory is a very accurate theory in describing the reheating period within the universe's history, and that's about it.
He's basically asking, do we accept what they're saying about the Big Bang, generally speaking? And it would be yes.
Yeah.
Number 2.
We have no reason to doubt
them. Do you agree?
Right. Yeah. But that could change. So, but you only have what you have to work with at the moment. Like we were saying earlier when he was bringing up about a static universe, eternal universe, and everything else, that one by one were proven to be incorrect. So may something else, but that's how it goes. But at the time, that's what they had to work with, and this is what we have to work with.
See that, despite the efforts of Hawking and others, no theory has been presented which can prove the universe had no beginning and has no boundary or edge.
And there is no theory showing that it does.
Yeah.
It's certainly not the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Well, again, these are the things that we're talking about where they don't even have an understanding or math or anything for. So it's kind of difficult to have the science for it when these are the big unknowns, and these are things that might never be known. So it might be one of those things where you can just not get past a certain point in the math to even figure these out. Who knows?
Can I say something quickly about the Big Bang Theory?
Of course, Leo.
So the Big Bang Theory starts telling us what's going on in the universe after the inflationary epoch. So it's not, I mean, I would not say that the Big Bang Theory is a theory on the origins of the universe because it doesn't tell us where the universe originated from. All it does is tell us what the universe was doing after the inflationary epoch up to about, depending on who you ask, either 10 seconds or 380,000 years after that moment. That's the Big Bang Theory. It tells us about the reheating epoch, which immediately followed the inflationary epoch. And it goes through a number of other varying epochs in the universe's evolutionary history, from the electroweak epoch to the, I believe, the electroweak epoch, the quark epoch, the hadron, lepton, and then the photon epochs, I believe, is how that goes. That's what it's telling us about. We gained that knowledge through particle accelerators, which are capable of recreating temperatures approaching that at the period of reheating. So the Big Bang Theory is sort of like, here's what happened after inflation. Here's not what happened. This is not telling us this is where the universe came from. That is not what the Big Bang Theory technically does. Inflationary theory technically doesn't even do that because we don't know if there was something prior to the inflationary epoch or not, because we simply don't have the physics yet to understand that.
Steve says, for the record, he does agree with the Big Bang Theory in general. So
I would hope he does if he's using it as an argument for the existence of God. I would hope it's a theory he accepts.
Can you explain how a 3,000-year-old book has an explanation of the cosmos which perfectly fits the most current facts and theories that we have?
It doesn't.
It doesn't anyway. You're post-hocking a lot into it just because
Remember,
it says in the beginning.
When God began is technically what it would start with, not in the beginning.
And I have to agree again with there was already stuff. God was already using stuff. So the creating thing, it's more like, did I create the Play-Doh or did I create the little, doll I made with the Play-Doh, right? Where did that come from? Well, it's still the Play-Doh. So I don't see where it's still God was using, it seems, a universe, some form that was already here.
When you make a pot from some clay, the pot didn't begin to exist. The clay just was formed and shaped into something other than just a ball of clay.
There you go.
The clay was already there. Right. You were already there.
Go ahead, Bree. Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, it's all right. I just basically saying what you're saying there.
We'll say it. Good. I want to hear it.
Oh, about beginning to exist. It's smuggled in, isn't it? I mean, is there a theory that anything began to exist? We can date things back to a certain point in time using a math and using isotope decay rates and things like that. But in the end, it's all recycled material. Nothing's begun to exist for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
At least not on Earth. I guess there are probably stars making lots of cool elements out there, but nothing here on Earth. It's all recycled stuff. We're all recycled stuff.
Just remember, you can't get helium if you don't first have hydrogen. And then energy.
And number 4, can you explain why you, like Dawkins and Hawking, so vehemently desire that there is no God?
I don't desire that so much as I've concluded that.
Yeah, I don't have that desire either. And Mike is what you would call a very spiritual type person here. Mike gets very deep into these things and with the mind and everything. Mike's there. I mean, he's the guy you want to talk to about these kind of things. And Mike is still the host of an atheist channel. So
Andrew.
Yeah, I have no problem. Like I think it would be kind of cool if the whole Christian myth thing was true. It'd be kind of a fun game.
I don't, because a
Yeah.
lot of people would suffer for eternity when they don't. Well, assuming that that's the version
Well,
of
yeah,
Christianity
that's
true.
not really in the Bible. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Does it really say that in the Bible?
I don't think
Honestly,
hell's
I
in the
don't know.
Bible.
My reading of it is that's just for the Satan and his armies, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Where he
I
gets
grew up
locked.
Catholic. I was taught that what hell is just complete and total separation from God. There's
it's
no
cat-
torture. There's no being boiled alive. Like not that all that stuff is not. No, it's just complete and utter separation from God and His glory and His mercy.
My son just ordered me 2 quarter pounders, and when they arrive, I'm going to go eat them because I'm really feeling bad. I just did a handful of Tylenol, so I'm good for a little while. Anyway.
I believe it or not, I think we're almost there. So let's see.
I sincerely thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It has been
I'm a prophet.
I think
I
it's next
sincerely
video.
thank you for making this video, and I sincerely mean that because it gives us something to respond to.
informative for you. I understand that my knowledge of cosmology is rather primitive, but I am capable of reading. My intentions are not to win arguments, but to sincerely understand you and just encourage you to have an open mind and an open heart about these things. I look forward to your comments, and I will engage those who honestly seek mature dialogue. Since some of you complain that my using God bless is offensive to you, I will simply try to remember to say, take care.
Wait a minute, mature dialogue like what he's been doing in chat? Is that what he's talking
Yeah,
about?
that's
Well,
exactly what I was thinking.
Maybe he thinks
And I
we
will
were giving
say-
him a hard time. Maybe he'll come around with, Steve, like I said, I hope you understand, and you've heard from all of us here that, we were just taking your challenge, and we didn't make it personal or anything. And if you really want to engage with folks, you've had 4 offers here to engage with atheists.
Hey, I think his second video that you sent might be more interesting. I don't know.
What is it?
It's called The Existence of God.
Well, yeah, what kicked this off was his arguments for the existence of God. I've got that video too. Hey, hello, Mark. Good morning.
He spends a lot
Hey,
of
Mark.
time telling atheists what they think.
You want to take a
Oh,
look
I
at
might.
it for a
It's
few
Mark.
minutes?
Sure.
We can. All right, we can take a look at it.
Alrighty, guys. I'm out of 5,000.
All right, Leo. Good to see you.
Okay.
Thanks for stopping
See you
by.
later.
Bye,
Peace out,
Leo.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Leo,
guys.
Leo, be careful of the corn. I hear there's children.
You better tell the combine operators that they're the ones. They're the ones that need to watch out for the kids. I just dumped
They
the
hate
grain.
those
at the co-op.
combines.
Alrighty, guys. Peace out, everybody.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Back
Much
at
love.
you.
Oh. So to clarify, though, I want to make sure I got this right. That the guy in the side chat is also the guy in the video, right?
Yeah, Mike messaged him in his comments and said we were taking a look at his video, so he came by.
Cool. He came by quite defensive, though.
Yeah, I invited the devil into chat.
Well, he may have had some bad experiences with some atheists, so maybe he'll see that over here we don't bite, and that.
Well,
we're having a good time here and everything. But
we kid the Christians, right?
yeah, it's they poke us and we poke back. That's all. That's all it is. Okay. But otherwise, I'm in a good mood. I said earlier that had some legal problems, and it was finally all resolved and everything dismissed. And there's such a weight off my shoulders, and
yeah.
I'm feeling so good. I'm the happy-go-lucky fuck atheist right now. All right, so you're not gonna get a happier atheist than I am right now. You should take advantage of this opportunity and time because the universe has a way of coming back around, So I'm enjoying the W for all it's worth right now. And Steve, I hope you take the W back that
I remember how
take
good
it for
I
what
felt
it is.
when I
That,
got probation.
pardon me.
I remember how good I felt when I just got probation.
Well, I was expecting something, you know what I mean, like a slap on the wrist, or you know that
Yeah.
they just couldn't, you know, let all this stupid crap go. Like they just had to slap me on the wrist, and when they said everything just all dismissed, boom, with the gavel, you know, it's like, oh, I wanted to just jump up and down in the, you know, and scream and yell and everything, and it's like let's get out of here. So as soon as we walked outside, I still literally started jumping up and down, woohoo, woohoo, and there's people sitting around outside, and they're like, "Good news." I was like, "Oh yeah, good news. Hey, good for you, man." You know, everything's out there, all giving me the fist, woohoo, you know. And yeah, I'd say I floated back to my car. So it was a great day, and I'm still riding that wave. So you can't upset me, Steve. You just can't upset me after what I've been through. You cannot upset me. Okay, we can have a great conversation, and I'll be smiling just like this. Okay, if I died tonight, the coroner and the mortician ain't gonna be able to pry this smile off my face. Okay, it's be like the Joker's laying there.
Yep.
Let's see. We'll take a quick look at this here.
Hi, my name is Steve Copeland.
By the way, I should say that this is what actually spawned the comments that he was talking about at the beginning of this video. This is the video that he was getting the responses to. I just, it took us a good couple hours just to go through the video. And the reason I played that video first was because it had the good catchy title. Steve, you clickbaited me with a challenge to atheists, right? So I thought that would be a great one for us to look at. But I also had this one, which is really, I think, 2 months prior to the other one. Okay.
In this video, I'd like to offer several basic arguments for the existence of God, taken from my small apologetics book, Time for Truth, The Story of Salvation.
Which I just bought.
And there you go. Mike bought it. And hey, if anybody else wants his book, Amazon, Mike, you got it, right?
Yep, I got it.
Just
for some reason, it didn't cost me anything on Kindle. I don't know. I guess you get credits or something. I don't know.
Okay. But there you go. Everybody want to check out the book? Hey, we're happy to help you out here, Steve. So
we're helping.
Anybody wants to check out Steve's book, go Amazon, get Steve's book.
So, is it possible to prove the existence of God? From a purely scientific point of view, we may say no.
So far, I would say so far, there's no scientific evidence of God because it's not demonstrable or repeatable. It's not falsifiable. One of the W's I took in one of my videos is getting a believer to say that his beliefs, nothing could change his mind about his beliefs, but I said there could be something that would change my mind. So, the not falsifiable is always a big problem.
However, we may also...
Half an hour ago, I prayed for 2 quarter pounders with cheese. We'll see what happens.
My wife is out with some friends from high school having dinner, so hopefully she's having a good time. And
I walked in brainless.
Some good eats. Maybe I'll get a doggy bag. We'll see.
We find ourselves trying to define what we mean by a purely scientific view, or even what we mean by scientific. Science, generally speaking, is the pursuit of knowledge through the recording and observance of phenomena which can be perceived by instruments and human senses. Now, human beings belong to the natural order, and in that we are well equipped to experiment within our sphere of existence. However, if there are other forms of life which do not belong to the natural order as we perceive it, will we be able to determine and verify their existence using tools from our level of existence.
And therein is the problem. There doesn't seem to be any test for the supernatural.
Yeah.
Anybody know of one, Bree? If anybody knows of a test for the supernatural,
Test for the supernatural. I've been looking
That's
for
Bree.
one, so yeah.
Well, actually,
Bree is the lady to go to. I would go to Bree to ask her. So if she says no, that's gold with me.
I mean, if supernatural things started happening right here in Minneapolis, it would be in the news and we would have like some proof for the supernatural, right? I mean, we'd see something that's like, hell, there's absolutely no explanation for why these oak trees keep disappearing, going poof, poof, poof. I mean, it could happen, right? And you'd have proof. We just don't see that.
Are they cursed oak trees?
Cursed oak trees, yeah.
But still, any technology, if it is advanced enough, will seem like magic or supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would suspect that, but I mean,
I've used the example before. Yeah, this Bic lighter here would have really amazed people not too long ago that I make fire come out of my hand, right? Yeah.
But I mean, why in the hell would an advanced alien civilization come down and start disappearing our oak trees? You know,
Why would they come down and start mutilating our cows?
Yeah, why mutilate cows?
Well, you know, yeah, there's that.
And why do they only go in through the entrances, or that are already in the body, just like carnivores do? That's really odd. Why they do it just like that.
South Park did a thing with the cows. The cows were always like, people would be like mutilating the cows, and they go like,
moo.
It's always the cows, man. They're always after the cows.
We had a history teacher in high school that used to show a lot of documentaries and everything in class. And every time the lights turned out, it was a big joke that everybody would start mooing. So he would say, all right, class. And he was a great teacher. This guy was awesome. I love the guy. He would, all right, class, we're going to have a movie today, and no mooing. So as he turned off the light, everybody moo, 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 moo. It was just one of those things, but what a great memory. What a great memory.
It would be rather arrogant of us to suggest, as the philosopher Baruch Spinoza did, that nothing can exist which cannot be scientifically validated. This
I want to hear that again.
As we perceive it, will we be able to determine and verify their existence using tools from our level of existence? It would be rather arrogant of us to suggest, as the philosopher Baruch Spinoza did, that nothing can exist which cannot be scientifically validated.
Nothing can exist that cannot be scientifically validated. Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, anything I believe in, I believe it because I know it can be validated. Like if I see, like I'm looking at a Samuel Adams non-alcoholic beer right now, and I can pick it up and validate it. So yeah, I believe things that can be validated. What's his point?
Talking about Spinoza, the God of Spinoza, which is that a God exists that doesn't care. Or that a God exists that doesn't a God exists that doesn't that you can't prove its existence is no more valid than a God that doesn't exist at all. So if he's just going to sit back and not do anything, he might as well not exist.
But Bree, you're going to find out one day.
One day.
Oh.
Not this day.
This tends to make science into a kind of God, or the humans which use scientific tools divine. In actuality, it opens up the question, is there a God? Now, what do I mean by the term God? I mean a being who is not bound by space and time and who exists outside of what we would consider to be the natural world.
And that's the problem. That's everything that science cannot do anything about. There you go. It's not falsifiable. It's not demonstrable. It's not testable. I don't even think you could even get to that point because it doesn't even exist in our universe or our dimension or anything else to test it. I mean, how do you get a sample, right?
And also, like, if God does not exist in our universe and in like our existence, then how can it interact? How could it interact with us?
Yeah, that's my thing. As like Bree was saying, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't exist if it's outside our universe, outside of our time, outside of our laws, outside of everything that we know. Then it may as well not exist.
If it exists outside of reality, then it doesn't exist in reality.
In ours, right? It doesn't seem to interact with ours, and that's what I think Mike was pointing out, that we just don't see it. I know you're supposed to believe in the things that are unseen, but with us, we would rather see it. That's what we're asking for.
Now, if there is, then I suggest that science may very well provide powerful arguments for this being's existence, but ultimately be unable to prove that existence absolutely.
What?
I don't think science has anything to do with the supernatural. You can have your beliefs or not have beliefs. It doesn't enter the equation. You can either repeat somebody else's experiment or you cannot. It doesn't really matter what you believe.
Now, it is not the role of the Christian to prove the existence of God. However, throughout the past 20 centuries, Christians have systemized ways of explaining God's existence for the purposes of dialogue and debate.
And there you go. You just criticized that earlier. I'm giving you a pass, though. I'm giving you a pass. We're gonna give you a pass here. But why have they been doing this for 2,000 years? But here we are on a Saturday night doing it, and kind of got an attitude about it, right? It's been going on for thousands of years, and you can go back 5,000 years, probably more. These things have been going on. So it's still going on. Okay, I don't know why you're giving us a hard time about it.
The Bible, for example, never argues for the existence of God. It rather assumes that everyone is wise enough to recognize the evidence for God in the created world.
Doesn't it pretty much tell you to believe? Isn't that the first commandment? You will believe thy Lord your God.
Yeah, I went to an Amway convention and they kind of said the same thing about Amway. That they just assume you're wise enough to sign up.
And that's not true either, because there's always been competing religions, and I think was it Brainless said earlier, there's some, or maybe it was the other guy, Christians were called atheists, right? Because they didn't believe in the other people's gods, right? So this is an old thing, and it's not new or unique to Christianity in any way.
Psalm 14:1 simply states, "The fool says in his heart, there is no God." But why refer to such people as fools? Frankly, because the Bible states that human beings have been made in God's image, and that God has set eternity in the hearts of men. And in order to deny this, the atheist has to willfully suppress his very nature.
What's my nature, though? What am I?
Yeah, this is the old you don't want to believe so you can sin argument, and then you ask, well, what am I doing?
Ooh,
what am I doing?
That argument, you know what's wrong about that argument? If we do something wrong, we have to face the facts. If a religious person does something wrong, they can say, "Sorry, God, please forgive me," and it's gone. What gives you an excuse to sin?
Yeah, I've said it before. That's the old joke. Little boy wants a bicycle and he was going to pray to God for one, but he knew God didn't work that way. So he stole one and asked for forgiveness.
That's actually a really good one.
That's a good one.
That's basically it. Yeah, you just want to misbehave, and it's like you get and on the same token, Christians are quick to apologize for their peers and forgive them. Oh, well, Jesus forgives you. We forgive you. They move on real quick. Whereas, I might say, hey, my buddy wronged me, and I think he owes me an apology, and make it right. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to do things for yourself. If you've wronged somebody, you got to make it right. The get out of jail free card just doesn't cut it, right? And I don't think it should. And I often say the reason they have Christianity is for people that couldn't get into other afterlives. Because a lot of religions, you actually have justice. You have to step on that balance, and your life better weigh out, right? I don't care what you believed in. Here's your life on one side, step on the other side. Christians, on the other hand, they love grace because they can be forgiven for just about anything. And it's a sweet deal for somebody that maybe can't behave themselves to keep getting forgiveness.
They used to sell the indulgences,
Yeah.
Or you could, if you really couldn't stop yourself from sinning, you just prepay for it. You prepay your sin to the church.
And the church had absolution, right? When these people did horrible things, they would come to the bishop, whoever was in charge of it, and they would say, look, we did all these horrible things. Maybe it was a war or whatever it was. And maybe it would cost them, a few tokens or something. But
if I send
absolution, it's all washed away. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, if I sin, Catholics will just come along and move me to a different church.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
with the name of that child, you mean? Oh.
Subsequently, the scriptures are really about the fundamental reason we were created in the first place, namely, to have a personal relationship with our Creator, which will continue throughout all eternity. So in this video, we will examine 7 basic arguments for the existence of God, and I will put subject chapters in the description so that you can go to whichever one you want. So argument number 1.
Thank you very much.
Are there any true atheists who actually live as atheists?
You're looking at one. I don't know how I could live any differently.
Yeah.
I did have exposure to religion. We did go to church and stuff, but I just never, like I say, the Holy Spirit didn't show up.
I never really felt it.
No.
No, he's going to call us hypocrites now because we don't, because we believe in evolution, but we don't go around killing people with bad genes. So we're not living like atheists.
You can't use the no true Scotsman on me because my grandfather was an immigrant.
Now, according to atheist philosophy, human beings are products of macroevolution and supposedly the most highly evolved animals on the planet.
No.
Well, everything on the planet's about to equally evolved.
Yes.
Everything's equally highly evolved. Right. Oh my goodness.
According to the Bible, human beings are made in the image of God, the Creator.
Right. The Bible says that.
And to quote Father Guido Sarducci from Saturday Night Live, if we're made in the image of God, then why aren't we invisible?
Now, the Bible assumes that we will have both a consciousness and a conscience of what is right and wrong, an instinctive understanding of moral laws such as murder, adultery, and theft, although these attributes are said to have been perverted through rebellion against God.
Well, first of all those things can be explained by a social species. So,
Yep. Biology.
adding God to it doesn't do anything. You can add God to it, but you can take God away from it, and you still have a social species that knows it's in its own interest to work together to survive. And that means, often the other members you need to watch when you're sleeping or to help you hunt or defend your tribe or whatever is a bad thing. Being left all alone out in the wilderness back in the day by yourself was not in a good position for a early human to be in.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck fending for yourself.
No. We are not of tooth and claw. We developed it up here, and one of the first things we developed up here was whether I like that person or not, we need each other. We need to work together.
A thing about that, like that, actually quite a funny thing that I've came across on the internet. Do you know what the first sign of civilization was that that they dug up?
What, like religion?
No. Like a lot of people would guess like a pot or a tool. No, it was a healed bone. Because that was the first sign of people caring for each other and working together.
Right.
And not like, oh, they're wounded. Yeah, let's run because the bad animals might catch us.
Yeah.
That's how they decide whether an animal was social in the fossil record too. Is they can look at if it heals, it means that something else was doing the hunting for it and what have you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, there are like two major stages in evolution. One was like when single cells became multiple, multicellular organisms, and all of those cells had to start watching out for each other. And the next stage was when basically animals became social animals, and each animal had to watch out for the other animal. And it's the same as the crossover from multi to multicellularity, and we went to being a social species. And all of what we have as far as morality involves other people, and it's the basis of morality, right? You don't need it if you're all alone on an island. I don't know.
And we've had these discussions before multiple times on Mike's channel that a lot of these arguments, adding God to it doesn't seem to do anything. If anything, it makes the argument just worse or totally fall apart.
Yeah, so in a lot of respects, I will agree with them that morality is written in our hearts, you could say, which is a metaphorical way of saying it's written in what we are. We are moral animals. It's just
part of our social DNA. It benefits having those empathy genes that make you able to. There are people born without them, and their aberrations, generally speaking, like serial killers and things like that. There's genetic dispositions that put you in a place where you have those types of problems. It pops up, so we know what it looks like and what it looks like without it as well. So we know it's genetic. We don't need a third party to be arbitrating whether what you're doing is right or wrong. If you got your wiring right, you should know. That's the good thing about, or not a good thing. Hell, that's a bad thing about religion is that it actually will condition you to work against that. That's one of the easiest ways to convince people to not care about another group of people or another person. Yeah. It's for religious reasons, because biologically you're already wired to care about them, especially the ones that can't defend themselves, the ones that need protecting. Our brains are already wired to say, "Hey, we need to not let bad things happen to these children."
Yeah,
but,
and also that there's like a very quite nice thing going around on the internet that I've been spotting here and there. like asking kids what's different about their friend, and they will say like, "Oh yeah, I like Brussels sprouts." They don't. None of them will mention skin color. None of them will mention they have a different belief system. None of them will even mention that one is a boy and one is a girl. It's that those are things that society trains you to think make you different, but it doesn't make you different. Well, it is a difference, but it's a difference that has no fucking meaning.
That's well said, and that's coming from somebody with no brain.
Yeah, no, but like,
So,
well,
you know,
less brain, more heart. I think.
Yeah, that's what I say. A lot of heart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, but that's yeah, and or like people with disorders. Like, yeah, I don't care what kind of disorder you have. Like, if you are kind to me and the people I care about, then I will be kind to you. If you're a dick to me or people I care about, oh fuck, can I be a dick?
A theory in science, a lot of us will argue, is a fact because it's describing a fact of the natural world.
Fact is a too hard word, but a theory in science is something different than what people generally use as theory.
Yeah.
A scientific theory is a explanation for a collection of repeatable observations. That's what theory means. Yeah. It doesn't mean people conflate it with hypothesis.
It's got a lot of overwhelming evidence. So if
hypothesis is more like what you general would use as a theory. Yeah. But
if you're looking for something that you want to call a fact, something that's been repeatedly tested over and over, and there's a huge body of knowledge surrounding it, is a fact, right? I mean, what more do you want? You know what I mean? To me, it's a fact. That's everything that you want as far as overwhelming evidence to make something factual, right?
Well, yeah, and like science doesn't work with facts, but a theory is the closest thing that we can, at this point, come to what we think is a fact about something. Like,
so
tomorrow, they could come up with something and like they figure something out and say like, "Oh, we had gravity all wrong," or the way light works is completely wrong. But like what we know now is what we call the theory.
Good to see you, Simos. We'll catch you next time.
And like that, but we don't say it's fact, but it's a theory because science is always open to be disproven. If you say it's a fact, then you claim it cannot be disproven.
Right. But as far as a definition goes, I mean, if you want something to be factual, there you go. I mean, well, what do you know? As far as the supernatural goes, he's already said there's no scientific test for it. When you have something that can be repeatedly tested over and over again, even if it's just something simple, like I often use baking soda and vinegar, right? If we all mix the same amounts of baking soda and vinegar together in our kitchen sink right now, we're all going to make the same amount of a foamy mess. Okay? Over and over and over and over and over again. So is it a fact that if I mix equal parts of baking soda and vinegar, and so does everybody else, and we all have the same reaction, isn't it a fact that if you mix those together, you're going to get the same reaction?
Yeah. And those facts are basis for theories.
but our understanding of why it happens could change. We understand, it's because of this chemical reaction, but maybe they'll find out, no, it's actually because of some other force they discovered. That's what's making it make the foam. Okay, but it's still a fact. When you mix them together, you get a big foamy mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is just a bit of a word game.
Human beings are the only animals/mammals which are sentient creatures. We are aware of ourselves.
Hard disagree.
I disagree too. Go ahead, Bree. Go ahead, Bree.
Well, I mean, we've done enough studies on apes to clearly demonstrate that all the great apes, at least, have a level of sentience. Elephants are mainly what pops in my head. Elephants have a high level of sentience, and cases could be made for intelligent birds as well. Ravens and parrots, for instance, are known to be intelligent, have culture, and even have empathy. Like they did the experiment where they put the crow in the parrots in the cages and would only give one treat, and it would always give the other one half of its treat through the bars, because animals have empathy. So we have sentience, we have empathy, we have all the other little pieces of the puzzle. Now, humans are really good at a lot of things. There are things humans are exceptional at, but yeah, there's things that all animals are exceptional at. It doesn't mean that we are the exclusive arbiter of what is sentient. But again, it's so oftentimes comes down to judging a goldfish by its ability to climb trees, I suppose.
Maya points out octopuses. Grayson was just saying he's going to do a video on that about something with their conscious or their neurons. I don't remember what exactly, but he's going to be doing. I know he's going to be doing a video, something related to this.
And I actually think that's such an interesting thing that's being seen now. And I think why we're figuring it out now is because, like, before people were just so obsessed with being better than everybody and everything else, that everything that was not seen as like everything that made something more equal to you was bad. Same reason as why only recently they've been showing that with the hunter-gatherers, it was not all men that were hunting. A lot of them were also women.
Right.
But like they saw, oh, they have a spear. Oh, that's a man.
Yeah.
Right. There's an overestimation on how easy it is to determine someone's sex from their skeletal remains.
And Bree covers a lot of the way we've abused animals. She runs her elephant clips and everything, and like she said, these are some smart animals, and the things we've done to them are really horrible. And there's a precious video going around where I think it's an orangutan was released from a cage for the first time in its life. It felt grass and being outside, and it just opens up with that big, orangutan smile with all the teeth and the gums and everything, and it's like, tell me that thing wasn't overjoyed. Tell me it wasn't overjoyed.
In I think it's in Sumatra that the legend says that orangutans can actually speak, like they know how to talk and communicate and everything. They just don't because they're afraid if they talk, then someone will make them get a job. That's the mythology. I love it.
That is actually quite funny.
Yeah, and I can kind of relate to the orangutan. I wish I hadn't started talking.
As individual selves. Therefore, we do a great deal more than simply act out of instinct. But we have moral values in how a particular self should treat other selves. The rest...
And that's good. But again, you don't need a God for that. And these things predate your religious texts, by the way.
Oh, yeah, but like that's not something human specific. Groups of monkeys and apes have the same thing. If one of where was that? I believe that some type of monkey or ape, if they while playing hurt the other one too badly, they apologize by giving them a baby. It doesn't have to be their own baby, but they collect a very small baby and give it to them as like, sorry, as an apology. And like, so they have a knowledge of good and bad. So that's not something only humans have. And like also other animals, like when they do something bad that hurts the group will lash out at them and like let them know you fucked up.
Yeah. Well, a lot of us see it in our dogs. I mean,
yeah.
I walk out there and the dog had his nose in the plants and there's dirt on the floor. And all I have to do is look at him and right away he's going all submissive. You know, there's thoughts going on more than beyond, you know, just feed me and I got to go to the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
There's something going on that it knows, I got caught doing something I shouldn't be doing, right?
And a dog isn't even self-conscious. And like monkeys and apes, a lot of them are.
Yeah. Oh, they've got a lot of those experiments with the mirror to see how the different. Oh, what was it? The polar bear. I just saw a video of a polar bear came up to a vehicle and it had a shiny chrome bumper on it and it could see its own reflection and it kept, you know, looking at that and touching it and licking it and everything else. You know, it knows that that's another polar bear there, but why isn't it there? Right? It's trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And like with apes, they quite they don't need that much time to figure out, hey, it's me.
Andrew doesn't have a wrench. Sorry, Andrew. There you go. You got a wrench there, Andrew.
I think you got somebody backstage.
We got
Private chat.
top there too. Hang on a second.
Wesley.
I was getting out a wrench there. Oh, it's Wesley. Yeah, not right now, Wesley. We're about wrapping things up here.
Of the animal kingdom does not live by moral law. There are no concepts of right and wrong, of adultery or murder. In this system, the highest ideal is the survival of the strongest, so that the next generation is better than the previous.
That's funny wording too. Strongest,
better than the previous.
They're better.
I like them to have a better world than we had, but not. I don't know if they're going to be better. If be better means like to have less sickness and genetic disorders and things like that, sure. I mean, yeah, the wording, like you said, the wording is kind of funny.
Yeah, again, you know, we're riddled with viruses and bacteria that make up a big part of what we are. So it's anyway, great wording.
In the animal world, the weakest animals are usually destroyed by predators. They cannot run as fast, or they may be crippled, or they may have some defect. And this means, being killed, they do not pass on that defect to the next generation.
That's evolution. That's natural selection. It's picking off the weak and the strong survive. And you don't have to be fast or strong. You can hide well. You can burrow well. You can fly off.
Or your family is capable of taking care of each other.
Yeah, or you can fight back. Maybe you'll bite back, or yeah.
This is what Charles Darwin referred to as natural selection, and
Yep.
it is thought to protect the species from extinction.
No, it's a part of evolution. It's
Yeah.
but there's a lot of variables that come in too. I mean, environments can change, like we're seeing now. We're losing all kind of species. So some of these species have been around for a long time, and they just can't handle the quick environment change. So
Yeah.
they could be plenty strong, plenty tough, been here for a long time, and now they're not anymore.
Yeah, and with that, like, also better is such a subjective term. Like,
Yeah, it's better
what
suited.
animal is better? Like,
Yeah,
well, depends on what. That's just what I was saying. Like what was said earlier about the fish being judged for climbing. How well
Yeah.
a fish can climb. Like, that's the same
Right.
thing.
worms are one of the oldest life forms we have, and they're still worms, and they've speciated all over the place into almost every environment there is. Then the question often comes up, well, how come they haven't grown arms and legs and made computers and all this stuff like we did? And it's like, those worms have been around, having the last laugh as a lot of species came and went, and we're not immune. So
Yeah, we're kind of
Now,
the odd
there is-
man out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there was a time where there was a lot more ape species on this planet. There was like 70 species, and now there's like 7. So, and they were all, similar, but not quite good enough to make it.
No God, and we are all just products of macroevolution, then on what grounds do we change and effectively halt the precepts that govern natural selection? If we are to be true to the precepts of evolution, then should we exterminate any human being who was born with defects? If we are no more than evolved animals, then why have notions like compassion or love, fairness, right and wrong, adultery, stealing, or murder?
We've already addressed most of those as social species, and thank you, modern medicine. I don't want to say, putting somebody down or something is the right thing to do. What we do is we strive to find cures and treatments and everything for these folks. That's thank you, modern science, right? You want to bring up the Bible, not a whole lot of cures in the Bible.
And thank you for survival and understanding the survival of the fittest, so that we know how to help populations thrive. Right?
Yep.
If we know what kind of conditions are optimal for a species that we're maintaining, knowing what environment it will be fittest in is quite important.
Yeah,
And that goes for crops as well.
Mm-hmm.
and nice people. I'm heading off the bag. It's 12:30, 2:30 over here. So.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
So
thanks for
thanks for
joining us,
having me.
Brainless.
This
Oh
was
yeah,
very interesting. So,
it's always a pleasure.
And good night, Steve. Was it? Yeah.
Right.
Night, Steve.
All right, I'll see you around, Brainless.
See ya.
You can find Brainless often over on Slim Cyborg's channel. They have a good time over there, and it's always Brainless has joined us a couple weeks here, so good to have Brainless with us. He does pretty good for not having a brain, so. But we'll look at another minute here. I think Mike's eating. I haven't heard from him, so.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna bounce here in a minute too. I'm getting kind of hungry.
I think getting near that time, Mrs. Desk will probably be coming home too. So we'll give it one more minute here, and then we'll wrap things up. See if he's got anything interesting. And I didn't really plan on doing this second video through anyway. So.
Why indeed should we even talk about individual rights? All of these concepts are religious, or they come from religious philosophies, and they are only found in the one species that the Bible says are made in the image of God. So if a person claims to be a true atheist, let them live as if there are no religious concepts. Let them reject them all and all religious philosophies and live as if they are merely products of evolution.
Okay, well, I've got a good closing comment then. This is the Hitchens challenge, right? Name something a religious person can do that a non-religious person cannot do, right? Non-religious people have morals. Non-religious societies have morals. They do not need a book. And the people that wrote this down in a book already decided what these ideals should be as a society, and then they wrote them down in your book. They preceded your book. They knew how to have morals before they wrote your book. What do you think, Bree?
Yeah, it's like Mike was saying earlier, like I've reiterated that being moral or ethical or whichever branch you're on in the decisions you're making is genetic. It's biological. You can obviously teach yourself to work against that, and you can be led against those biological urges. But yeah. Oh, Blaster's here. Hey.
I am indeed. Hello, Bree.
Hey,
Nice to see you.
I like your background. It's beautiful.
Thanks. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's just like it's like a tapestry on the wall back there. It used to be like a little kid's room,
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's kind of a cool background for my room here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was about
I'm
to
in a
wrap
forest,
things up.
dude.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
We're about to wrap things up. So
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to come in and say hi.
You got anything to say there? And
Well,
hey, hi, how you doing?
I was talking. Yeah, hi. Good to see you too, Dave. Mike, he's over there.
I think Mike's eating his McDonald's.
Yeah, he's eating his.
Mike might be
cheeseburger.
able to hear us though.
He's still listening.
He needs his
Don't
energy. He's been battling the C word all week, so he needs
that's
the
no fun,
energy. Yeah.
Dude, you know what? Every time I get that, it just like knocks me out for like a month, man. Just kills all the energy I have. It doesn't even make me sick anymore. It just makes me tired now when I get it.
Yeah, but speed's really ancient, so we got to take care of our elderly and make sure that they don't suffer the fatal qualities of the C word.
Right? I know.
Yeah. I worry about
need to
all
be more
my
careful.
friends over 60 when they get COVID. I like worry until
Yeah.
they say I'm better and they're back in the spotlight again.
Yeah.
I worry about them.
I agree. Yeah, my mom's that age, so yeah.
My mom too.
My
Yeah.
mom is the same age as Speed. Actually, I think they're exactly the same age.
Yeah, I'm almost 60.
Last time I checked.
Almost 60. You're gonna have to start worrying about me, Bree.
All right, keep me notified. I'll know. Well, there's no way you're not going to
seem
have a
pretty
big
healthy.
celebration. Yeah, I think you'll be all right. Still got some color in your beard.
You're a young 60.
Still got something there. Yeah. My grandfather, well, one of my grandfathers had all white hair. He was gray as far as I
Yeah,
heard.
same.
But my namesake grandfather, the one that immigrated from Scotland, that's why you can't call me a no true Scotsman.
I'm Scottish as well. Yeah.
He still had like this going. He had the salt and pepper when they buried him. So I have some either way in my family. It can go
You'll
all
be all right.
white, or it can go, still have a little color when they carry
I'm generally
me off.
going bald. I feel it in my 40s now. I'm like, okay, well, I'm in my 40s. It's okay. I can.
You
go
know,
bald. I feel all
I
right
didn't
with it.
notice because when people take pictures of you and everything, they don't really take
Mm-hmm.
a picture of the top of the back of your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one day I noticed on the security camera, because the security camera got out of time, you had a lag going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I walked in in the house and I walked
like,
by the
wait a
thing and yeah, that was me walking in the backyard. And I'm like, oh, the security camera's got some lag, right? I noticed it. And I looked and I'm like, hey, what's that thin spot on the top of my head, right? And I said
That's not
something to
supposed
my
to be
wife. I said, did you see this? How thin? She said, yeah, I didn't want to say anything to you and hurt your feelings. I was like,
Oh,
I didn't
that's
even
sweet.
realize. I didn't even realize it was
She's
getting
looking out
thin
for you.
back
She's
there,
like, I don't care.
You know?
She still
yeah.
that's what my wife says too. She's like, I still love you. It doesn't matter. You can go bald. It's fine.
Love her to death. Love her to death.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but
one of these days I gotta get my wife on here with us.
it's not all
really
it's
cool.
not all glory. Yeah, I do have the long hair is covering it up a little bit, but yeah, there's that thin spot there. It's like broke my heart because I only saw this part, right? And I'm like, hey, my
Dude, I have,
hairline's
like-
not doing too bad,
Oh, there
right?
she
But
is.
but when you get the aerial view, it's like, I got some
You're
bad
good.
news for you.
He's just shutting down the show.
Hello.
Hello.
There's Jules. Hi.
So in closing, yeah, we didn't watch the rest of it. However, I said before, if we run low on something to do here at Saturday Night at the Atheists, every week so far we haven't gotten through all the stuff, so we can always
I
go
do wanna
back
comment
and
on
take
that,
a look.
Actually,
Okay, go ahead.
I want to comment about Steve showing up. Because he's not here anymore, right? He left.
He's still out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Steve.
Okay.
Steve's
Commented
still
at
out there.
7:40 1 minute
Okay,
ago.
good.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't have to be like so defensive and hostile when you show up. Like we're not jerks. You don't think we've ever been told we're fools before because the Bible tells you so? You know, my problem was was talking to him in chat and I was like, hey, you can't just call us fools and then be like, hey, it's what the Bible says. I'm not the one saying it. It's like you
Yeah.
disagree with that. Don't pretend like you don't believe that.
Well, you can think it, not
Don't
say
pass
it,
the
right?
buck.
You don't have to
Yeah,
say
don't
everything
pass
that
the
pops
buck.
in your head.
Well, look,
No one on this panel
if I
said,
told
"Hey."
Steve
I
what I
can-
really think about him, he'd probably leave the server. He'd probably leave
Yeah,
the
I wasn't
channel.
saying nobody
I
here
can
said, "Oh
say-
man, the Steve guy's an idiot" or anything. We took what he was saying and broke it
You know
down
what?
and said, "Oh
I'm
well, this is
mature
why I
enough.
disagree with that."
Yeah, I'm mature enough and polite enough to keep it civil. Like, can you not engage without calling his names right off the bat? Like, and everyone too. Like, oh, so fools follow and come in packs. It's like,
Pearls before swine. And
okay, dude, you know what? Well, I'm
We've-
sick of
we've heard it.
the Bible tells me so, so therefore it's true, is what he's saying initially. I mean, that's it. The Bible says you're fools, so therefore it must be true, guys.
I've read it. I read that part
You
too.
think that's going to convince a bunch of skeptics? Zeus thinks you're a fool for not believing
Yeah.
in him. Are you going to believe in
does
Zeus
Bigfoot.
now? Do you
So does
find that
Bigfoot.
compelling?
All hail
Yeah,
Bigfoot.
is that compelling? Is that compelling to a non-believer, or are you just patting yourself on your back when you say that sort of thing?
Yep.
That's what I want to know, Steve. If you're out there, go
What's,
ahead and answer that.
Oh dang it! What's his? I can't think of his name.
It's not convincing in the slightest. That's what my point is. Like, who are you trying to convince, us or yourself? You know?
Yeah.
Why do you do why? Because I look at the psychology of this sort of stuff when they act this way, when they come in, okay, we're responding. You guys were being polite. He came in and he was rude immediately.
That's what we try to do here at Saturday Night the Atheist and at the Captive Desk
we're
and
just-
at the
we're like a bunch
Grassman
of lovers.
Chronicles.
You
Well,
know, that's the stupid thing about it. It's like,
Steve, I talk about cryptids and ghosts and all kind of stuff, and I've had guests on
we
the
don't
channel.
just pick on
Okay.
Christians, just so you know.
Oh, and I'm not picking on anybody. This is
we don't even pick on them.
open. I try to have as open, honest, and fair of discussions. I try to weigh people's experiences and everything else. I don't discount them or anything else. I just try to examine them.
Okay,
and like
Steve,
we said,
you weren't
it's
invited
easy.
until
It's
until
easy to
this
call
began.
each other names.
That's
Anybody
fair,
can
but
do that.
yeah. That's my point too. It's like, don't be hostile and defensive. Just come talk to us. We're not bad guys. We're not out here trying to like.
Yeah, you don't have to be a Jim Bob.
We're not
Nobody
hostile.
wants you to be
We're
Jim
not
Bob.
hostile.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not hostile people.
We can do
We're
Jim
not
Bob,
hostile.
right? You know, yeah.
That's my point.
I will
It's
not be Jim
easy.
Bob. I will dip if someone shows up and starts being
Jim Bob shows up, I'll rage too.
He
no.
he blocked me. He ain't no fun.
No, he's not. He's lame, dude. He's like,
As for discussion, I wasn't invited until this
Don't let
began.
Jim Bob
Also, I
around.
live in the Ukraine. Drone, missile, air raids. Oh my gosh, Steve, take care of yourself. Be careful.
Yeah,
Keep
it's
your head
horrible.
down. That's scary. I hope you're safe.
Well,
and
we were
what do you
just
think?
yeah. Mike was just letting you know we were taking a look at your video, but like we
Yeah,
told
that's
you, you
all.
can get
Yeah, I
back
thought
with
that
us
was
another
fair.
time. Yeah, for
You
a
want to come talk
discussion.
to us? We're anyone on the panel that's been here. I'm sure anyone would talk to you.
your safety first, though, man. When you're in the
Yeah.
Ukraine right now, in the middle of a war zone, you do what you can when you can.
Yeah.
I always try to let people know when we're reviewing one of their
Oh shit, Maya.
Yeah,
It's fair.
yeah. You're just trying to be polite.
Yeah.
It's fair.
And they're welcome to join too. We're not trying to be like that.
Not
And
cowards.
then, Mike, Mike's a great guy. A lot of great discussions over there. He knows a lot of topics, and you can have a good discussion with us, especially when you kept repeating about wanting to engage with atheists or whatever. We're just
Right here,
saying,
baby.
hey, here's a bunch of us right here. You can get a hold of us, all right?
Mhm.
And as far as your arguments video go, we didn't really
You don't
get
have
through
to
it
debate
much.
us, Steve. You could just come in and talk to us right now if you wanted. I know you
Yeah,
could. You have a phone.
I don't like to
Clearly, you're
debate.
online.
I don't like to debate anyways.
Yeah, none of
we
us really like to debate.
We're talkers
I'm not a
over
debater.
here. Yeah, we
I like to
like
argue.
discussions. So
I like to argue, but I'm not debating anyone.
Leo is the debater, though. Leo, who was
Yeah,
in. If you
Leo
wanna
Leo-
debate
might be
with
Leo's
somebody.
a
someone that you want to
debater.
stay away
Yeah.
from.
that we've got a lot of folks that are in the debate community and everything.
He's not as polite as a lot of us.
Hey James, how you doing?
Hey there, everyone. I'm doing okay.
Is that like
What's up,
Amish?
James?
Except
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
You got any thoughts there, James?
Well, I just want to say hello to everyone, and I don't know Steve. I'm guessing you guys just finished reviewing his material.
Yeah.
Little
We've
bit.
been
Yeah,
doing it.
Mike dropped him a comment that we were looking at his video, and he stopped by the chat. So.
Oh, all right. So I'll have to go back and review that.
Well, you
So-
kind of came in hot. I don't
The,
know.
the part that I heard coming in this evening was that if somebody had in chat, he said if anybody had ever been truly experiencing Jesus, then they would always remain a Christian. They would never. They would
Yeah, I
never
saw
leave.
that.
And for me, this is kind of a crazy thought, because what the implication is that your free will is lost the moment you become a Christian. You
Right.
can't change your mind, and this is very much like the heaven idea, where you're rewarded with the inability to ever again have an unapproved thought or feeling or action for the rest of eternity, but they still want to call it free will. You can't have it both ways. So it just seems to me like it's a mean thing to say about God,
Well,
to say that once somebody experiences and they're not allowed to leave.
Well, it's not only that. It's like as if you're pretending you know our mind better than we do, as if we weren't convinced that was true or not.
Sure.
Like you're gaslighting me at that point. I consider that like abuse, a form of abuse is what I consider it.
Well, yeah.
That's why I called him
Thing
an
is-
asshole. Or I suggested that he could be an asshole if that's what he wants to play. If he wants to play that game, then I'm just going to call him an asshole. You know?
Mhm.
So when I was 15 years old, I had an experience that was it. At the end of a really, really bad teenage crisis. I had what I call a spiritual experience, and I was an atheist before, during, and after. But I understand what they mean when they're talking about this this personal relationship with God or whatever. And that 1 3-day experience, it changed my entire life. Basically, my entire life has been trying to catch up with those 3 days that I had. And so I understand when they get this like feeling of, this God feeling. It's a real powerful thing that happens to human beings, because I have experienced it. But then if I try to talk to them about that experience, they'd be like, oh, you didn't really experience, not the real one, right? It was like a fake one.
Yeah, how do they know?
I mean, it set me on my ass for 3 days. You know, the world lit up like it was on fire. You know, and what I don't understand what they're talking about. I don't know. Anyway.
Right. Think about the angels in the story. Right. They're born in heaven. They hang out with God all day, every day for what, thousands and thousands of years, and then eventually some of them are like, you know what, God, I'm not feeling this. Like,
Yeah.
and they're right. And so how is it that an angel can have an experience with God and they can decide they're not for it anymore, but a human can't? It just doesn't add up.
Well, we ain't angels, I guess.
Yeah.
The dog is barking. I think it's that time. Somebody has to go outside. Bree, I hope you appreciate my artwork on the avatar there.
Gorgeous, beautiful spider.
And
my son bought me two double quarter pounders, and I'm one double quarter pounder in, and I think I'm going to master the second one because I haven't eaten for like a week. I'm really hungry now.
Yeah, that's good.
Just don't upset your stomach.
You got to take it easy. Maybe go easy on
my
that,
stomach. My stomach is hardly. The only time it ever got upset is when I had a gallbladder attack, and I got that goddamn thing chopped out. So now I don't have any problems. I can handle 2 double quarter pounders tonight. I'm going for it.
Well, Mike, let everybody know
if you haven't
as
eaten
his
for a week,
name.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry,
that's all right.
Yeah.
No, he needs to eat. You're right.
Yeah.
You can find Mike at Answers in Atheism.
Yep.
And like we said, seems Steve's in a bad part of the world right now, but we hope things get better for you real soon.
Yeah, I do not envy him being in Ukraine. Are you over there? Why is he there?
I don't know, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he's not in the best of mood, because I wouldn't be. So maybe we'll have a nice discussion another day, okay? But the invite is there.
Fled Russia to get away from what's happening to him right now. Yeah. So
whoa! Wesley Curry just crossed the line. He's got to get banned right now.
Like he needed to be banned like a long time ago.
He just literally
not well.
Threatened.
He's not well.
Somebody drop Wesley for me, please.
Yeah, Maya's on it, I'm sure.
I'll get him. Okay, someone will.
Maya ain't taking none of his risks.
You got plenty of wrenches out there. Somebody will take care of it.
Bye, Wesley. You're not well. You're not welcome. Just you can watch, but your comments are off the hook, man. You're not well. He never has been. He's been coming on. He's been trying to do that for years. He's been coming around for years.
Thank you, whoever modded that. Appreciate it.
Homeless. Now he's in a home. I'm glad his living space is better and he's not homeless anymore. But Wesley, you're still
not well.
Anyway, we don't need that.
Screwball, man.
Okay,
but,
I'm out of here.
All right, and Bree, why don't you tell everybody where you're at?
Oh, where I'm at? I'm at. I'm at Hivesci, HIVESCI. That's my main channel. I do a weekly show called Live from the Hive every Saturday morning. This morning we talked about the Beast of Gévaudan, so it was really a fun show this morning. Also produce and host or co-host a channel, a show on a channel called The Transpositions, called the Transpositions Weekly, every Thursday night at 7. So that's another place you can see me live if you want to hear what I have to say.
And I'm there every Saturday morning. It's my Saturday morning routine now. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun show in the morning. We just have a good time.
Bree and I are kindred spirits. We love a lot of the same topics, so it's a good time. And Blaster, I know you don't really do content, but you get around, and we see Blaster around here, there, and everywhere, right?
Yeah, I'm around. I'll be around.
We'll see.
I might make content one of these days. You never know.
And I know you can find James Apperson at James Apperson, right, James?
Yeah, you could find me just looking up the name. That works.
What's up, Jim?
Yeah, Steve, if you ever want to have a conversation over in MySpace too, I'm welcoming for them.
James is another great person to talk to. He's very, very civil. You won't find, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody to have a more civil discussion with than James Epperson. So.
Appreciate it.
And with that, appreciate everybody that's been here. We had a lot of folks come through. Earlier, we even had some believers stopping through, and for the most part, they behaved, and we appreciate that. Again, if you come in the chat, drop some comments. Don't drop Bible verses. We know the Bible verses. Thanks anyways. Yeah. Okay.
We've been called fools plenty of times. It's not going to gain you any points around here. If anything, we're going to question your, like, what you're doing, what your motives, if you come in here doing that.
We're a bunch of scumbags too, as one of the videos we reviewed said atheists are a bunch of scumbags. So we were laughing about that, and we were all calling each other scumbags for a week. So yeah, again, we're not taking it to heart. Okay, we're laughing it off here. We're just having a good time. And again, any of the videos we reviewed, any of those folks are welcome to come on. And again, numerous offers from numerous channels from different perspectives. Have also offered the olive branch. Get a hold of any of them that you prefer to talk to, whatever, that's fine. And yeah, we don't bite. I can understand you can run into some hostile rooms or whatever on the internet. Everybody has. So do we. Okay. I've ran into some brutal rooms before. All right. Mentioned Jim Bob. Brutal going on there. Okay. You're going to get called a dummy a lot. All right. It happens, but we prefer not to do that here.
I don't bite, but if I do, I don't look up.
There you go. All right. And with that, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody that was here on the panel. A lot of folks came and went. Mike and Scott, of course, always appreciate you guys. And
thank you, Maya, for your moderation. And also check out Bad Science Sunday tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Check out Maya tomorrow night. Was it 9:30 Eastern?
Yeah.
Always a good time over there. She always covers a lot of topics. And I'll never look at caves the same again, thanks to Maya. So if you want a new and unique perspective on caves, it's the place to be. Trust me.
Caves. Caves are awesome.
Caves are awesome. All right. And all right. Good night. And everybody say goodbye.
Good night. Good night. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Julie.
Bye.
Goodbye. And I'm going to play. Well, go ahead, James.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.
It was a dual meaning. Dual meaning.
I got it. I remember watching. Is
it a Walton's reference?
That's a Walton's reference.
Yes, it was.
It is. And with that, I'm going
to
play
old enough.
I'm going to play my outro here to take us out. And everybody have a great one. And I'll see you next time.
Tales of lore knocking at the captive death's door. Legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the captive death's door. Captive desk, hold our dreams where reality no myth seems. In conversations quiet flow, the mysteries untold will know. Legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the captive text. Nerves are wide, hearts are keen, pages turn to secret scene, ancient maps and hidden lore, knocking at the captive text. control.